So here we go. There's a lot that we need to speak about of what's going on in hip hop. All right. And right here, I have the image of Lupe Fiasco, how he just hit what's her name? I think it's a Rap Latte. Well, anyways, it's the podcast with Tariq, right? And those of us that know music journalism, we know that we have studied Tariq, or Torre, I should say, back in the days. Thank you for the likes coming in. Was getting in here a little bit later than we wanted to start, but we're here now. So also I'll say apologies if you have a little bit of buffering, but hopefully you guys can hear me all right. So, want to make sure that we're coming in okay with the stream, but you guys are there with us. All right. So anyways, I want to hear a little bit of what Lupe has to say here, but there's other topics that I want to get into. I want to talk about Jay-Z. I want to talk about Charlamagne and Akademiks a little bit. We don't have to spend too much time on that. Like I said, I don't like to spend time on gossip and all that, but there are a few little details that we have to consider of what is going on in rap, what is going on in the music business, and it's very interesting. So let's hear a little bit of the takes of what Lupe was saying here, and we'll talk about other things a little bit after this. And of course, we also got to speak on the fact that sources say that Kendrick Lamar is working on a new album. So that's another topic that we will have to bring up.
Peer reviewed, exactly, right? Exactly, yeah. And so I do appreciate Justin having a little bit of that, and he has some folks on there. So like Mickey IT has his space, and Mickey comes from Sosa, and Sosa is all about having those conversations, right? But we do it in private. They're very private. But anyway, just to clarify this thing, couple minutes. Go to that talk of Justin. Don't go to the source because the source is wrong. Go to the actual talk with me and Justin and the panel on CU. Okay.
I'm gonna try to pull it up right now.
Okay, and then fast forward through it because I think it's like 6 hours. I was only there for like the first 2 hours.
So niggas know fans get people killed.
I just found the video of us and your.
Hey, let's listen to it.
That's so important to me.
Wait, no, back up before the super chat comes in. Because people think I'll be starting it. I'll say it first.
To your point, even I'll land the plane. When you said your definition, it was kind of context dependent. Like that's also true. So I think little piece. The tone of your voice.
That's
I actually think tone of your voice is first, but since we were talking about lyrics and punchlines or lyrics, I put lyrics just for the sake of conversation. But I actually think tone is the most important thing. I think it's what people gravitate to more than
that is the most interesting thing that an MC can do sonically for me, and everything else goes after that.
Okay, but so if we zoom out and the conversation goes away from lyrics and we just say artists as a whole, what do I think people gravitate to the most? I think it's the tone of someone's voice. Right? Like it's their voice. It's the way that their voice sounds sonically. I think that's the most immediate thing we pick up on, even if we don't understand what they're saying. Like you can listen to some Japanese hip hop, not know what the fuck they're saying, and it still be vibes, right? You can still feel energy, emotion. It's really just the tone of their voice, even without understanding what they're saying. So I think that is tone. I tell my students that is tone, the most important thing. But this conversation was specifically about lyrics, so that's why I didn't say tone. But when she asked second, I said, oh, tone. And then we get into this whole try about tone of voice. And as we're talking about tone, a super chat comes in, and Torre, and your wonderful, melodic, soft, but also stern, journalistic voice, could you please read the super chat that I did not write?
Nas doesn't have great punchlines, so is he not lyrical? What about other literary devices? I remember Lou praising Blue back in the day. He also isn't a punchline-heavy MC. How can we reconcile this? It's a very thoughtful super chat.
Now, mind you, at this point in the conversation, we're still talking about tone. If you press play, Justin's going to be talking about tone, BK's talking about tone, and eventually Justin's going to read this super chat. All the clips you have seen about this are going to, from the end of this chat, reading this super chat, right. They're not going to mention the other parts. So it's going to sound like I come in and introduce Nas into the conversation. Pick up at the toward the middle, toward the end, and then I'm going to come in, and it's going to sound like I'm introducing Nas into the conversation, and I'm not.
But my question is, this is what I told when I saw that clip.
This is why
a lot of rappers
don't do interviews.
Torre, that for me, it's Lupe's singling out the aspect that he feels is very important, the punchline aspect, and that is a technical
Thank you, man.
feat
Thank
to
you.
be able to do a whole fucking rhyme of punchlines. I would say Nas is not a person that does verses with just punchlines after punchlines. He doesn't do that. That's just a fact.
He's a
So now if
storyteller.
you value that and level that up as like this is, listen to what I'm saying. If you value that as this is a higher form of lyricism because you have likes and similes and metaphors throughout this whole verse, then you would be like, this is more technically skilled than someone who does not have that. Me personally, because the way I look at lyricism holistically, because we're not even talking about poetically in poetry with like rhyme patterns and all that. There's so many levels and things we got to think about when we're talking about lyricism for me, because the basis of it is emotion, right? How well can you technically display that emotion, which is what you were saying earlier. Like if I did an entendre and a simile, oh no, here's the example I love. If I say I miss you, that is direct. If I say I miss you like the desert mist the rain, I use the simile. If I say I can't see it falling down my eyes, I gotta make the song cry. There's so many fucking levels to that. I love that fucking chorus. That is one of the greatest written choruses ever. I just told you I miss you. I just told you I can't.
I don't know if I agree with that take. This guy right here, I've been trying to hear a little bit of what he says, but I gotta tell y'all, to me, he sounds like he's just spitting a whole bunch of jargon. Like every time I try to listen to this guy on this show, it's like I never understand what he's saying. It's like everything he says sounds so complex to me. You know, where it's like, man, can you just speak in normal English? Like Torre, the way he does it is a little bit better. Like I can understand Torre a little bit better, but as far as his co-host, I have like no idea what the heck this dude is talking about. Shout out Mike Jackson. Thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let me see if I can get the Torre's take on this.
Express in vulnerability. I just told you all this fucking shit with one line.
No need to curse right there.
So it's really on the writer how he expresses that shit. But I could understand most rappers, most MCs, and Lupe knows this shit. When someone's using similes and shit, we're like, okay, you get it. We like that's just it's like, oh, you're there. You're here with us. You're actually in the playing field. Whereas like if you're just fucking what young MCs do, not young MCs, young rappers do, is they repeat other similes that they heard before. Coupe color of Akon, black like this. They're just using Lil Wayne lines from 2007. And so we look at that.
Jake from, if I can't see the rest of the name, but you said legit, haven't really missed with rap hip hop since, oh yeah? Okay. Yeah, man. Is that as in, oh, okay, the one rapper that was a little bit more on the trap side? Because I think there was a couple rappers with that name. I just want to make sure I know what you're saying. Y'all saying this R3, the Chilla Men don't exist. I'm not sure who that is. I'm playing a clip that came out just yesterday from Rap Latte, where they're interviewing Lupe Fiasco. Because, you know, Lupe has been doing his podcast run, especially for the fact that, you know, I guess there was some misunderstandings, people thinking that he was talking trash about Nas, but he basically said he wasn't. But they're basically talking about hip hop. They're actually talking more about rappers. But my question is all of it. You said Trey says it kind of just grew out of it, or you just outgrew it for me. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. That's a little bit like. He's dope. Like some of his tracks were dope, but to tell you the truth, I feel like he was a little after my generation. Like my generation is like the golden era. I come from the golden era of hip hop. Like Lupe Fiasco, a little bit. He could be kind of close to. I mean, he came out what, like mid 2000 or early 2000s. So he was a little bit on the cuff too. But yeah. Some of his stuff is dope. You know. Let me see if we can get to Torre's part.
You have no brain. Someone who actually is an MC is coming up.
Yo, those on YouTube, let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Like, can you guys hear me okay in the chat? Like, put a 1 or a 2 at least. Like, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay. A 2 if you can't hear me all right. Make sure you guys get some likes on the stream on TikTok. Make sure you do that. Same thing with YouTube. But, yeah, tell me if you guys can hear me okay on YouTube, because I think it might be buffering just a little bit, but at least hopefully if the audio is okay, you guys can hear what we're talking about.
up with new similes, so we'll respect that for your technical ability. But the way I see Kendrick, and don't be talking over me, Lupe.
I'm out. I'm leaving at that point because I didn't bring him up. I'm out at that point. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm going to take a shower. As long as my whole point was to say I didn't bring Nas up.
Yeah, he don't want to be in the conversation with Kendrick. You said, what did you say? Fizzle, shout you out. You said you like 2010 and after rappers just as much as the 90s. Yep, definitely. Drake, Cole, Nip, of course, man. I like all those rappers too. Aiden says that's the peak of hip hop rap. 2015 to 2019 is not the golden era. that is definitely not the golden era. I don't know if you're trolling. Like what you see on my wall right here is pretty much albums that came out in the golden era. And all of these, and a lot of people agree to this too as well. You can look at any creditable source, any hip hop publication, magazine. They will all tell you that pretty much what's on my wall is the golden era of hip hop. But yeah, and none of these albums came out before or after, I should say, 2015. All of these albums on the wall came out before 2015. Shit, I think even like before. Yeah, well, Jay-Z Blueprint came out after 2000. But like I said, man, that was like the end of it. Mostly we got 90s. I'm going to tell you what the golden era is. Some people, it changes, it switches. But in my personal opinion, the golden era, in my personal opinion, you know, some people switches, but I think everybody can mostly agree that it's the mid-90s. The mid-90s is considered the golden era of hip-hop. And what I'll say is that I believe it's this time span, and we're only talking like, yeah, like a five year, maybe a little bit plus, but we're looking at like 92 to like 97. After 97, hip hop had already been infiltrated by the record industry. And we've done videos on this. Maybe I'll cover it a little bit in tonight's talk, but yeah, man, I've already covered videos with other people on this where the record industry took over hip hop about late 90s, early 2000. I think actually before that, but it was definitely in the late 90s. That format, energy, and community of hip hop rap, you won't get that anymore. What the SoundCloud and underground rappers did was game changing. Yeah, I agree with that. Well, yeah, I agree with that. But you see, the internet, when the internet came in, and you know, you might be a Gen Zer, which is cool, but it's like when the internet came in, that was like when hip hop was like, you know, that's when hip hop was like getting trashed. When the internet came in, to be honest with you, like it was already going in that direction. It was already going in that direction, but I'd say definitely after, you know, labels started making money off of it, started seeing that they can make money and stuff like that. That's when things started changing. But I will agree with you though that the SoundCloud era was like a new thing. It was like a new generation. You know what I mean? That was coming up. So I do agree with you on that. Yeah. Haha, you said, man, to tell you the truth, see, Aiden, you might be a little bit young. I'm going to be honest with you. The decline of hip hop started way before 2020. Shout out JS. Thank you for the hearts coming in. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, JS. Yeah, thank you for the coins. Yeah, man, what's it called? Hip-hop fell off, in my personal opinion, way before that happened. But, make sure you guys can hear me all right. But you're right, though. I will say this. You are right that it definitely declined more so well after that. Like, to tell you the truth, we always have this discussion where we say it was right about 50 Cent. I mean, we already know who 50 is. Off the wall. Yes, thank you. I appreciate the comment, man. You said hip hop is not on the decline. Yeah, please tell us. I mean, this is why we have these talks. Some people agree, some people disagree. Some people think that hip hop is on the decline, some people think that it's not. I mean, there have been a few more people that have come in today that have thought that it's on the decline. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll look people up maybe in a minute. You know, it depends upon what it is, because like sometimes some people just come up here and, you know, they say some whatever, and it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have time to go back and forth with everybody, but you can tell me in the comments, and then we can see if in a minute I'm gonna let people up. Because we were actually playing something too. I'm actually streaming on some other platforms too. I'm not just streaming on TikTok. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know. Yeah, sometimes when I jump on here, I don't really feel like always having a debate right away with everybody. Sometimes it's more like, all right, we going over some footage, because there's a few other things that we speaking on too. Like I said, we want to get to the other stories of what we got going on with Kendrick. We want to talk about the other stories of what we have going on with Jay-Z. That's the other interesting thing that's coming up, the Jay-Z concert. But hold y'all place right there in the queue. Like I said, we're just getting started right here too. So make sure you guys just give some likes and some shares. Let's try to see if we can get a few more people up in here. And then, yeah, I'm going to look out for y'all. I got y'all. Let me hear real quick, because I think a couple people were asking about this too, though, in the chat. Let me hear real quick what one of the homies was saying about Lupe, or about this Kendrick thing, which I think he deflected this really well. Let me just play this real quick.
Coupe color.
And then we'll continue this. We'll let you guys
on. I told Toure that.
But hold your place. Hold your place right there.
Lupe singling out the aspect that he feels is very important, the punchline aspect, and that is a technical feat to be able to do a whole fucking rhyme of punchlines. I would say Nas is not a person that does verses with just punchlines after punchlines. He doesn't do that. That's just a fact. So now if you value that and level that up as like this is, listen to what I'm saying. If you value that as this is a higher form of lyricism because you have likes and similes and metaphors throughout this whole verse, then you would be like, this is more technically skilled than someone who does not have that. Me personally, because the way I look at lyricism holistically, because we're not even talking about poetically in poetry, display that emotion, which is what you were saying earlier. Like,
I try to rewind that and I still don't know what that dude's talking about.
Oh no, here's the example I love. If I say I miss you, that is direct. I'm a better lyricist than those two other niggas. That's period. That's how it works. One is this, two is that, three is that. The only thing is what people are the like and simile thing to me is literally in the middle of that, because what's it called?
Aiden says you literally haven't heard this much good music released since the post. You're saying that you have or you haven't. I'm not sure exactly what I mean, but what you mean by saying that we're in a musical or a music renaissance.
What's it called? The Jay-Z line isn't a simile, right? So it's like you can use a metaphor or a pun and be more profound than a simile. Yeah. So it's really on the writer how he expresses that shit. But I could understand.
I feel like I haven't really heard that much good hip hop since '97.
Most rappers, most MCs, and Lupe knows this shit. When someone's using similes and shit, we're like, okay.
Stragner says it fell off, champ. Yep, everybody's saying that.
You get it.
That's what I'm saying. I want to just get a few more polls up in here. We should do a poll, but yeah, we want to do a few more polls of people saying if it fell off or if it hasn't fell off.
Like that's just, it's like, oh, you're there. You're here with us. You're actually in the playing field.
I think so far from the people that we have that have jumped in have mostly said that hip hop has fallen off.
Whereas like if you're
it fell off when we accepted Drake as the leader in the culture. A rebirth of the genre.
Actually, as an MC is coming up.
I agree with that. Yo, check it out. Well, some people might say that Kendrick took over
with new similes, so we respect that for your technical ability. But the way I see Kendrick, and don't be talking over me, Lupe.
I'm out. I'm leaving at that point because I didn't bring him up. I'm out at that point. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm going to take a shower. As long as my whole point was to say I didn't bring Nas up. Yeah. I responded, and I felt I responded very gracefully and in context what has happened. And I also,
because Lupe has this whole thing coming up with him and Kendrick and Nas and all that.
I knew that I fucked up when I said that, not because I thought I fucked up, because I knew that people would take it the wrong way. And if you continue to fast forward through that video, I come back to that. And I explain to people what I think about Nas, what he means to me, etc. My name is Lupe Fiasco. Do you know where my name comes from?
Nah, I never read that.
Okay, there's an album called The Firm. Whose album is that?
Yeah, Nas.
Nas's album. They have a song called Firm Fiasco. And I was like, I like the way that sounds. I like the way that looks on paper. I'm finna be Lupe Fiasco. So my name is directly connected to the God MC. So everybody fucking relax. And just watch the whole thing, bro.
Is Lupe your given name?
My Wasalu was my name. I was always Lou. My rap name was Lyrical Underdog. I had a homie named Lupe in high school. I liked the way Lupe sounded, so I took his name. And then if we were in the stage where rappers had first and last names. I had a name.
Yeah.
One of my names was Tease Bugatti or some wild shit. We thought we were Italian. So be it. I love Nas. Love the.
Says both, huh? So it fell off, and it's good and it's bad, huh? Shout out, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, keep coming the likes. Keep having the likes come in. You know what I'm saying?
Firm Fiasco. Oh, I'm Lupe Fiasco. I thought that it meant something else, like Ivan the Terrible, right?
Yeah.
But it was like, no, Ivan is terrible. And I was like, fuck, this name kind of sucks. But I'm going to keep it as a lesson to myself to not rush into things and be about the details.
Do you have another name for yourself?
I'm out of here, Torre. I got to go. Y'all be good. Peace.
All right.
Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you.
You got it, brother.
Thank you so
You got
much.
Lupe has still not told his Eminem story. That's the one thing that we still haven't heard from him, man. Like I would like to hear his Eminem story. We're gonna get into some hip hop politics in just a second, but yeah, that's what I wanted to tell y'all, man. Is that like what Ice Cube has said before and what others have said before, that people have been conducted and instructed to speak on this. Like they can't talk on the real hip hop, man. And I see where Lupe is coming from on this, man. I see where he's coming from on this, but it's just like, yeah, man. Yeah. We're just talking about the lyricists, talking about the MCs, you know what I'm saying? Destroy, rebuild, shout you out. Oh yeah, you said please let me speak on this. Yeah, I'll probably let some people up a little bit later. You're like the third or fourth person that's asked me right now. Right now we're just controlling the floor right here, you know what I'm saying? We're just getting started right here. We have a lot of topics that we wanted to speak on, but yeah, y'all are like the fourth or fifth person that asked this question. Just chill. Like I'll let some people on in a minute, you know. Like I said, because sometimes I let people on here and they just start they start rambling about some other shit, and then I can see like people start jumping off and they ain't trying to hear all that. It's like y'all gotta do your own streams, you know what I'm saying? But I try to let some people up in here sometimes. Let me try to see what some of y'all are saying though. Decometer or Doc Commentor says, yeah, it's good, but you feel the storytelling fell off. I definitely agree with that. It's just rap pop these days, bubblegum rap, shoot 'em up, bang bang music. Yep, I agree with you like that. Aiden says you put Lupe in the same space like Dax, Hopsin, and the rest of them other guys. Wow, really? Hopsin is dope, yo. Like Hopsin was underrated, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's like I think Lupe is better than that. I'm glad you brought that up though, because there are certain levels to this. But I think Hopsin and those MCs are like more like underground MCs, like Dax and all them. They're more underground. Like Lupe, I think he went platinum, even though those guys might have sold millions of records. But I think Lupe sold more millions of records, you know what I mean? I think Lupe's a little like Lupe worked with Kanye West, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Hopsin and definitely not Dax worked with Kanye at that level, you know what I'm saying? Aesop Rock doesn't even want to do any more shows. I thought he was. Oh, Aesop Rock, not Aesop Rocky. Okay, yeah, I know. I got them mixed up sometimes. Well, dope. Hip hop is good. The generation just changed. Okay. Chill Seville says that's a dope name. Chill Seville. Hip hop is good, but the generation just changed. Aiden says, however, hearing him talk, it just come from perspective. Trizzy, it says it fell off. Yeah, I agree with that. Then the female artist music just got worse by far. Yeah. Well, I agree with you on that. I agree with all y'all on that. Yeah, destroy, rebuild. Yep, I agree with you on that. I mean, look, we got Nas right here. A lot of those guys wish they were in better situations and the amount of support Kendrick had, then they feel someone. Yep. Trizzy says Lupe is a great lyricist, but he's not someone that's going to be talked about. Wow. Yeah, I mean, Lupe's like, he didn't put out like, well, come on, man. I mean, that's the thing. Like, Lupe didn't put out like amazing albums or whatever, but he's got a couple bangers out there. Like, he's got a couple legendary tracks. Like Kick Push is a legendary song. It's a legendary video. What else does he have? I mean, I had it on this one Ice Cube take that I was gonna play a little bit later. But Kick Push is classic. Superstar is classic. What else does Lupe have? The Cool was kind of classic, right? So I mean, like, watch, we could pull it up real quick. Like, he ain't banging like as far as Kendrick Lamar or whatever, or even like a J. Cole. But like I said, here, let me look it up real quick, because I got those on YouTube too. I'm gonna pull it up for those on YouTube. That's not enough. Let me see. Yeah, man, Superstar, Cake, Samurai. I mean, I will know when I hear these songs, but as far as the albums, I remember the albums, and I was like, yo, like, these are some dope albums though that he has right here. Wait, let me come back to that. By the way, did you hear that Damon Dash was trying to get I don't know if this is alleged or whatever, but that Damon Dash wanted to get in a boxing ring with Jay-Z? Who's all going to the Jay-Z concert too? Anybody trying to go to that? I'm just wondering. All right, so anyways, where were we? Yeah. Lupe Fiasco. Yeah, man, he's got some hits though. He's got some hits. Like, that's another thing. And I like the fact that he talks trash about a lot of stuff. Like, I got to go back and listen to his song Mumble Rap. Hip Hop Saved Me. That's a great song too. Like, yo, man, like, see, that's another thing I'm going to say. Like, Lupe's at a different level because this dude was getting airplay on BET and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember, like, he was getting airplay on BET. He was probably getting a little airplay on MTV, stuff like that. You see those other rappers that you mentioned, like Dax and Hobson and all them, they're dope. They definitely got social media influence, but y'all got to remember, man, like, when these guys came out, the record industry was a different time back then. It wasn't what it is today, where you guys got these people that are trending. It's a different time. Oh, Trizzy, shout out. Yeah, I'm going to probably let some people up in a minute. You know what I'm saying? I'm just answering some questions from a lot of people that I have coming in from here and from the other platforms that we're streaming. But maybe in a little bit. Like I said, like, we got a lot of requests for people to come up. But, you know, I ain't really trying to, like I said, sometimes I feel like we're willing to have those debates. And then sometimes I feel like, nah, man, you know what I'm saying? We got a whole program that we got. But, you know, if you say something in the comments that really like sparks my curiosity, then you know, we can see what's up. But you know, probably, like I said, probably after we cover a few topics that we have to cover for the show, then I'll probably we'll let some people up in here, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, tell me what it is in the comments, and, you know, it depends. If you say something that's sounds like it's worthy enough that it needs to come up right now, then we'll do it, you know? Because, yeah, man, we also got to talk about this Jay-Z thing. And like I said, I mean, I don't want to do too much of the gossip either, but the beef between Charla and, you know, what's his name? Akademiks is kind of interesting, too. Okay, so the 90s and 2000s early capitalized on radio play. Same industry, different methods. Yeah. True. I agree with that. Let me see what they see.
Nothing on Thief Steve or New York State of Mind goes beyond, because, I mean, it's a dope line, but I do think there are deeper, heavier Nas lines than that.
Thank you for the likes coming in. Appreciate you, man.
The importance of that line is the importance of, like, so many things. One, it's actually a punchline, right? So he's hitting you with a hyperbolic statement, using hyperbole to show you the exaggeration of so many levels of how tough he is, his viewpoint, and how far he'll take things, the environment he's coming from, all within one line. So that's why it was so impactful on that stage and platformed him so much. And that line was so impactful, and it also showed you how imaginative you can be. Rakim, God MC.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I got him on the wall. Yeah. Rocky comes in and says the South destroyed hip hop, huh? Wow, man. I'll say that in a way. You're not the first person I've heard say that, but I'll also say that because of what's it called? Outkast. We can't say that about Outkast, and I have Outkast. They're just like down a little ways on my wall. I should move them up over here because like Aquemini. I mean, all three Outkast albums. Like I think the first three Outkast albums was like an amazing run. And I feel like their albums just kind of got better too. Like the first one was really dope, the second one was really dope, and then the third one was just like the dopest. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Outkast. I gotta say, like even when they went up on the Source, you know what I'm saying? Like remember the Source Awards, and they went up there and it was like, "Yo, man, the South got something to say." I was just like, "Yo, man, thank you for the likes coming in." I was just like, "Yo, man, like." That was a different time. Like, that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Like, I don't think some of y'all know, like, some of y'all know, but I think some of these Gen Zers that come around, which is all good because, you know, things are going to change within time. But I think, which is what's really cool, though, is that, you know, things are going to change and evolve with time. But I think, though, that hip hop was just a different world, obviously. And I don't think it was just a different world because it was. I think it was also a different world because you didn't have the internet back then. So you really had to like get these record deals and get these music publications. You know, like you actually like really had to be signed in order to get out there, you know? Outkast was actually artists though. You know what I'm saying? Dapper Shan says, talk about the new hip hop, not well established artists. Which new hip hop are you talking about? Because I even went back and I watched the Double XL Freshman, and I gotta tell you right now, man, that I was like, they were okay. They were okay. Like they weren't completely trash, because yes, there's been times where I've watched that Double XL list. And I was just like, if I can read your name right, Superbird Kid says, nah, new hip hop is super duper trash. Yeah, man. Like I watched the Double XL Freshman, and I was trying to like it. I was trying to be like, yo, because you know, like I said too, like some people whose opinions I trust somewhat, they were telling me like, oh nah, man, it's dope. Like the Double XL Freshman. Tight, right? And then I went and I looked up the rappers, and I was just like, man, like I said, it wasn't trash. Let me see if I can pull it up, but it wasn't like super dope either. It was just like, Yep. Why you think heads are coming back? I completely agree. I mean, I think that the underground rap is starting to come back now. Like I agree with that. Like I think it's starting to go back to more lyrics. Like even these rappers, like they kind of like, let me see if I can play a couple of them real quick. They got those kind of bars that are just like whatever. This is the Double XL. I'm going to play the Double XL. You might not be able to see it, but at least you can hear it. But they you know, y'all saw the video that they did, which I thought was whatever, but they also did like this acapella thing that they just put up of some of them. I'm not sure if it's all of them being featured, but I think it's like some of them though. Doing like an acapella thing. But I thought they was like, all right. But I mean, maybe there's other rappers too that some of y'all know that you guys can put in the comments and then tell me which rappers you're talking about. And then I could be like, all right, let me see how they sound compared to some of the other ones.
I kind of balance my flaws, my mama praises. People at the crib looking at me, stuck in amazement while internal warfare dumped in abundance within me rages. Black man. Mask on, go undercover, don't got a bad song, look for another. I put these bags on my Charlamagne brother. You hear them saxophones, they calling you brother.
First and only princess that touched this platform. These
Okay.
hoes was pushing 40 when I got my.
I can't stand this girl right here. Whatever her name is, I cannot stand this girl right here. Like, she sounds like she's trying to be like Nicki Minaj too much. Trying to sound like Nicki, like even doing the same facial expressions, vocal expressions, and everything.
You brother.
First and only princess that touched this platform. These hoes was pushing 40 when I got my platformed. See, by the age of 21, I'ma have platformed.
Hold on, let me get these niggas they order. I got some fish scale from some geeky niggas in Florida, and they say they got connected TSA at the border.
They treat me like a blueprint down in my clothes.
True. You said this is making you yawn music. Yep. Trizzy said, do you scroll back and read the comments? Yeah, I'm reading some of them. It sounds like some people were having conversations between themselves, but yeah.
And money came a lame.
I was just trying to see what was up because somebody had said,
I'm not grown, but I'm growing.
I was trying to see what these rappers were coming with. Like, I heard the video that they did, but I was trying to see this thing that they put
You
out.
ain't have to show your hand. I already knew who went for me. Seen this shit in high school. I already knew who wasn't coming. I need to fast stop.
That dude sounded all right. He sounded like he already had the auto-tune master without the auto-tune. He already had the auto-tune in his voice. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I already know Boldy James. Like, that's the funny thing, man. Like, I'm real hip hop, dude. Like you said, Evidence. I know Evidence personally. Like, I got an interview with Evidence. But you see, Evidence, like, that's like Dilated Peoples, Boldy James. I mean, again, a lot of those dudes have been out for a long time now. Not that they haven't been out for a long time. Well, Evidence has. Evidence been out since like late 90s. You're talking about Dilated Peoples. I mean, they've been out since late 90s. So, yeah. You said sounded like Lil Uzi Vert, still trash. Yeah, I mean, I don't really like Lil Uzi Vert anyway, so you know what I'm saying? Yeah, now these rappers right here that we were playing, these rappers right here are like the new rappers. Like, some of them ain't even 21 yet. So I'm just like, all right, let's see what they're coming with. Skizzo's dope. I love Skizzo. Skizzo, to me, balanced boldly. Shout out. Yeah, Skizzo to me is like one of my favorite underground, what's the word I'm looking for? Underrated. Yeah, Skizzo's definitely one of the underrated rappers, I think. So since we're covering all the other rappers, I mean, you guys tell me, I mean, that can fall into the category of like Alchemist. I mean, come on, man. Rock Marciano. Some people like Larry June. I think one of y'all said Larry June in the comments. You know, some of the people that I'm down with, like Planet Asia. Planet Asia's like hardcore underrated. Some of y'all mentioned Evidence, Dilated Peoples. Who else, man? I mean, some of these rappers ain't even around no more who are really dope. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I mean, I like Griselda. I like Conway. Westside Gun is okay to me, but I like Griselda a little bit more. I mean, not Griselda, but Conway the Machine of Griselda. Benny the Butcher's all right too. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are some MCs that get overlooked. You know, even producers, man. We could say like Alchemist, Madlib. You know, there's a few others that I could name, but you know what I'm saying? Rocky Alexander says, it's a shame how far hip-hop fell. You DJ, and it's so hard for me with the straight face to play these guys. Thank you for the likes, Concrete Quarters. I appreciate you. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's hard, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, some of this music you want to try to rock. You know, there's another dude that we forgot to mention, Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs is pretty dope too. You know what I'm saying? I think he's been coming a long way. So, as far as MCs that have already been in the game, let me ask you guys a question, because we also got Jordan Lucas is one of my newest favorites. You mean, is it Jordan Lucas or Joyner Lucas? I know Joyner Lucas. But let me ask you guys a question. What do y'all think of Jay-Z? Because you know Jay-Z got that concert coming up at Yankee Stadium. So, you know, they're talking about these ticket prices were dropping in sales on this one report, but I don't think it's the real tickets that are dropping in sales. I think it's been sold out. I think what they're basically saying is, hold on, let me put this over here. I think what they're basically saying is that fans are reselling the tickets. Jay is a legend. Trap Rap says Hov is overall GOAT. Yeah, Hov is top 5. Joyner Lucas asked 2. Fell off and stay off, Montana says. Yeah, all right. Not going to the concert to see him. Yeah, how much were the ticket sales? I think I had it pulled up right here. I mean, I think the tickets might have been a little expensive. Not to mention that he's doing London too. So it looks like, according to here, if this is accurate. Whoa. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, to tell you the truth, it's not as bad from compared to what I saw for Kendrick Lamar's tickets. I mean, it's $300. Looks like it's starting off at $300. Oh, some are $480. All sold out. All 3 dates. So, we're going to have to cover that. If somebody knows where we can stream, you know what I'm saying? If somebody knows where we can stream the Jay-Z concert, definitely send me a link to that, because I'm thinking about doing a stream. Well, we're going to definitely do a stream, but I'm thinking about, who knows, we might have to do an all 3-day weekend stream for Jay-Z's concert at Yankee Stadium. Mike Patterson says, Yikes Uno. Yeah, I know Yikes Uno. He's the homie. That's the homie. You know what I'm saying? He jumps up in the chat sometimes, and sometimes I jump up on his mixtapes. He's got dope-ass mixtapes. Thank you, Concrete Quarters, for the follow, man. Appreciate you. His fan base are grown adults with actually bills like a mortgage, etc. Too expensive to waste money. Trap Stap says Joel Ortiz. Yeah, man, Joel Ortiz. My bad. Yeah, man, Slaughterhouse was dope, man. I love Slaughterhouse, like all of them, man. Royce the 5'9". Who else was in that? Crooked Eye. He hits me up on Twitter all the time. Shout out to Crooked Eye. And of course, Joe Budden, right? To tell you the truth, the funny thing is that Joe Budden, I think he's a great podcaster, but to be honest with you, like, he was my least favorite MC from Slaughterhouse. Like, I think my favorite MC from Slaughterhouse was probably, well, Joe was all right. He had a couple bars. I definitely liked his stuff with Slaughterhouse better than what he did before Slaughterhouse as a solo rapper. Pump it up. I mean, I get it, that's his classic, but I definitely liked his stuff better personally that he did with Slaughterhouse. But Royce the 5'9" was definitely my favorite. Thank you for the shares, y'all. Yeah, definitely. The more likes and the more shares we get up in the stream, the more hip hop heads we can get up in here. You know what I'm saying? For those saying Hov is all right are insane. It's obviously y'all don't understand or can't relate. Yeah, I agree, man. Reasonable Doubt, I think, is a top 10 album of all time in hip hop history. Nobody effing with Griselda. Westside Gun's definitely doing his thing. Pump it up. The commenter. Yep. Thank you for the likes coming in. Appreciate you. You sleeping. Joe Budden music dope as F. I got to go back and listen to it, man. I mean, I like Joe Budden, like I said, with Slaughterhouse. I like his stuff. Like, even the beats they did, like, man, the producers that they had on Slaughterhouse too. Let's not even forget, man, the production alone on Slaughterhouse was fire. Like, I liked, they had Alchemist doing the production, and they also had underrated producer who is one of the homies, DJ Khalil. People get him confused with Khalid. Nah, Khalil. Underrated producer. Also Aftermath producer with Dr. Dre. Makes a lot of beats for Dre. But yeah, man. Reasonable Doubt, you said you could still listen to that. I agree with you too. You know what I'm saying? Trizzy says, oh yeah, the Biggie album is the greatest album in hip hop history, and I stand on that. Okay. I think Biggie's first album was better than that one. My personal opinion. You're talking about the double CD, right? It was like a double CD. He definitely had classics on there, no doubt about it. But nah, man, his first album, I think even Rolling Stone, and I know Rolling Stone is not the best publication to get, but I think Rolling Stone had even said that Biggie's first album, when they did like their 100 hip hop albums list, like of the greatest rap albums of all time, this wasn't like any specific time period. They're just saying, like, of all the time periods, of all the genres of hip hop and rap, the best rap album of all time was Biggie's first album. That's what they chose. Now, I would have said Nas Illmatic. My personal opinion, I think that this is the greatest hip-hop album of all time. I think that Nas Illmatic. But, I mean, a lot of people will say, though, I mean, like I said, everybody has their opinions, but a lot of publications, Nas Illmatic is always in the top 10. It's always in the top 10. No matter, as a matter of fact, it's not just in the top 10. It's in the top 5. Always. You said, I'm tripping. His maturity level went super high compared to, yeah. But his lyrics, though, come on, man. Give me the loot. I mean, I don't know. Were you outside when that album dropped? Or were you just going back listening to it online? You see, because I was active when all of these albums came out. So I remember the times of like what the energy in the streets was like. And when Biggie dropped that first album, like Juicy alone. Okay, then you know. He said, call a Crip, same number, same hood. It's all good. And if you don't know, now you know, nigga. You can better wait. Like, yo, that song, Juicy, greatest hip hop song. Probably like, if you had to look at like what are all the top 10 rap songs ever recorded, Juicy is definitely one of the greatest rap albums or rap songs. I want to just say rap songs of all time. Definitely, man. Just like the hook, the chorus, the beat, the production, the rhymes. It's the whole package. It's the whole package. Yeah, Big L too, man. Forever. Like Big L is one of my favorite rappers, man. Like, to tell you the truth, I'm glad you brought up Big L because I think that Big L is a rapper who Jay-Z took a lot of his style. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Jay-Z, you know, and it's funny how a lot of people don't speak on this. There's only a few people who speak on that like know that Jay-Z took a lot from Big L. There was a lot that he took from him. Like, if you go back and you watch Big L and then you watch early Jay-Z, not Jay-Z now, but like early Jay-Z, like 96, 97, definitely 97 Jay-Z. If you look at 97 Jay-Z, even the way he dressed, yo, we don't even need to talk about rap style. We can even just talk about the way he was dressing was similar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Big L for sure, man. I got his stuff over here on vinyl. Like some of the stuff I got is on vinyl. Triz says that's BS. What's BS? Only Built for Cuban Links, greatest album of all time. I agree with you, Concrete Quarters, on that. Only Built for Cuban Links is definitely in the top 10 discussion for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Juicy though, I'll say this in my personal opinion, and I think a lot of people agree with this because and when I say people, like I said, man, everybody's always allowed to have their opinion. You know what I'm saying? Thank you to commentators. See, like, yeah, I'll let the people in the comments get you. I say this, man, like, you know, everybody's going to have their opinion, but there's certain creditable sources that we have to, I think, take note of. You know, like there's some people who will speak on hip hop, who will speak on hip hop culture. And, you know, sometimes we have to kind of agree with what they say. Yeah, you said Best Wu member, hands down, Ghostface Killer. Yeah. I mean, I like them all. Yeah, look, I got the 36 chambers right here on the wall. I know it's kind of hard to see, but yeah, I got 36 chambers right there. I will say though that yeah, man, I mean, everybody's going to be entitled to their opinion, right? But there's certain rappers, okay? There's certain rappers or albums, I should say. We're not really necessarily talking about rappers. That's what Lupe was saying. But there's certain albums, right, where you just have to just like take note of, man, or just take you know what I mean? Like there's just certain things that just like we cannot deny. And I know some people will say, well, they sold this many records and they sold that much. That's not what we're really talking about right here. Right now, what I'm talking about is more so the culture. You said y'all remember the radio freestyle with Big L. Come on now. Yeah, exactly. And wasn't Jay-Z on that one too? but he murked it so hard that Jay-Z couldn't even like really go after him, or it was one of them. But yeah, man, like I said, it's just like, yeah. I remember that one. Yeah, I mean, I love all them freestyles, man. Like, they don't even do that anymore. Like, the Eminem freestyles on the Wake Up Show, Big L, like they said, Empowered, Chino XL, like how Lupe brought up. I mean, like, the list goes on, man. There's so many rappers and so many people that we could talk about. But one of y'all said something in the comments, though, that I really wanted to speak on. Let me go back and look at that. Oh, yeah, what were we talking about? Yeah, man. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but most publications, most people who I think a lot of people agree with their opinions or will say like, yes, I agree with their opinions. Like a lot of people will put Jay-Z 10 rappers of all time. A lot of people will put Nas and Biggie and Tupac in those top 10 rappers of all time. Yeah, definitely Rico Hood. That's what I'm shouting out. Yep. But you know, and everybody has their own, like, to tell you the truth, in my personal opinion, I know some of y'all might get mad at this, but I'll tell you right now, my personal opinion, like, Tupac is not even really in my top 10 rappers of all time. Like, when I really think about it, I mean, I could name 5 rappers, just, I won't say that this is my top 5 or in this particular list or order, but I can name 5 rappers right now that I like better than Pac. Nas, Jay-Z, yeah, Nas, Jay-Z. Think I got one on my wall. Yeah, Rakim for sure. So Nas, Jay-Z, Rakim. Yeah, Rico Hood says this. You said you feel the same way about Pac. Yep. To tell you the truth, yeah, I got some of them on the wall. Yeah, Nas, Jay-Z, Rakim, Big L. Thank you, Big L. I was just gonna say Big L. Thank you, Alejandro. Big L. And Andre from Outkast. That's like 5 right there, right? Not in that order, not in that specific order. I'm just naming 5 rappers who are better than Tupac. Outkast, Nas, Jay-Z, Big L, or Andre from Outkast, and Rakim. Those are 5 MCs. Notice how I didn't even name Biggie. I didn't even name Biggie yet. And I'll put Biggie over Tupac, of course. If we're just talking about lyrics, Big L is not better. I'm talking about as far as a rapper. Not, I'll say this: Pac might have had better albums or bigger songs, but I think that Big L's a better rapper. Like if you put both of them on a freestyle, like for instance, I don't think I can ever remember hearing Tupac freestyle on a radio cipher. I remember hearing Biggie do it, but I don't remember hearing Big L. Like Concrete Quarter says, Andre does not have one whack verse ever. I agree with that. Ghostface Killer, Sean P, definitely in power. That's one of the homies. I did a show with Sean P, just to let you know. Nas, Andre 3000, Chino, yep, are all better than Pac. I completely agree with you on that. Biggie and Pac is overrated because of all the exposure they had. Yeah, I agree with that. Trap Stamps or Tap Stamps 1980 says no Eminem. Nah, man. Eminem's not even in my top 5 for sure. He's not in my top 5. Eminem might not even be in my top 10, to be honest with you. Eminem will be in my top 20, though. Like, I think Eminem's in my top 20. But Eminem might be in my... Nah. Eminem's not even in my top 10. Eminem's like in my top 15 to top 20, I'd say. List of the best MCs, rappers of all time. Trizzy says I'm reaching. I'll explain how I'm not reaching because I'm a real hip hop head, man. I can break it down. I got Eminem demos over here, yo. I got Slim Shady on a demo tape. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, can't relate to M. I love Mama laughing. I mean, come on, don't get me wrong though. Slim Shady, the first album, Slim Shady, EP and the LP. Both of those albums I love, man. Even the Marshall Mathers is amazing. Amazing, yo. And Eminem got some dope verses, yo. But I gotta be real with you. And I have some of my homies who feel the same way. I gotta be real with you, man. Some of his stuff, nah, not that song. That's like when Eminem started falling off, man. I think like that's like what, like Recovery or Relapse or Oh, like I stopped listening to Eminem after the Eminem show. Trizzy says, "How old am I?" Take a guess. Take a guess, man. Yeah, I think that Eminem. I stopped listening to Eminem after the Eminem show. That was like the last album. Like I kept listening to Eminem songs. Don't get me wrong. I still think that Eminem has a lot of dope songs, but I stopped listening to him after that. Yeah, Tap Stamps, you're about right, man. You're about right. Like I said, man, I'm from the golden era. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the area. That's the era I'm in. Yeah, I'm in my 40s. Yeah. I'm from the golden era of hip hop. Like when I was growing up in hip hop, I was growing up like late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah. Like, yeah, man. So, yeah, like I go back to like when we used to listen to records. We still do. Cassette tapes, all that, you know what I'm saying? Like Eminem is dope. Like I know dudes that battled Eminem and beat him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so we're all about the same age, exactly. I know dudes who battled Eminem and beat him, but you see, that's again, it's not really just about that. That's the same thing we were talking about in the conversation with Lupe, is that just because a rapper might be a better battle rapper doesn't necessarily mean that he can put out better albums. But you see, this is the thing I wanted to just say about Eminem real quick, is that Eminem is dope, don't get me wrong, but the issue with Eminem is that I don't think that all of his music has really aged that well. You know, like he has a few songs out there that are dope, but like if you go back and you listen to Eminem today, it's like I don't think that would have been famous today. Like seriously, like I think if Eminem came out in the era of the internet, I don't think he would be as big as he is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. The commenter. Yeah, I think that like Eminem became big because he got the cosign from Dr. Dre. And don't get me wrong, like I said, he's dope. Like still to this day, my favorite album by Eminem is Slim Shady. That's still like I like Slim Shady better than Marshall Mathers. Even though you're right, Marshall Mathers, you can hear the growth, you can hear the maturity. But I gotta say, man, Rico Hood says you've never been an Eminem fan. Yeah, I gotta say, man, that yeah, his music didn't really age well, man. Like when on the Marshall Mathers, like I went back and listened to The Way I Am and how his flow was like, and she back in the pack, it's exact and I'm back in the pack, and she always a back in the dark this way. And the know it's just the way I rap this way. And it's up at the bop and the fit and the foot and the fire, the skate and the feet and the fit and the feet and the feet in me. And if no, you would know I don't owe you a motherfucking thing. I'm not Mr. NSYNC. I'm not what your friends think. I can't be a brick. If you take me, my tank is on empty. You can tell I listen to that song a lot, right? I know the whole verse. But I'm just like, when I listen to that cadence today, I'm like, would that have been as famous if he had dropped those same bars today? Tapster says bars. Yeah, man. He said bars. I mean, it's like I said, when it came out, it was definitely banging. Like he took over MTV. Like that's another thing, man. Because MTV was so friendly to me. Like we can't front that Eminem definitely took over MTV. I mean, him taking over MTV was pretty much what boosted him into superstardom, just like MTV did with Michael Jackson. Then maybe I should pull it up for context. Remember when he even took over MTV, where they named it MTV, like Eminem TV, you know? So it's like he definitely took over. He definitely took over at one point. But all right, what's your favorite Eminem album? For those of you that are Eminem fans in the chat, I'd love to see a battle between, yeah. Well, you know what's funny too is that a lot of people say that they think that yeah, they think that I was just seeing something weird coming up with Eminem. Yeah, they think that what's it called? That Eminem took from Chino Style. What do y'all think about that? You know who's a really underrated battle rapper too that a lot of people forget about is Cannabis. That's another one, man. Cannabis. Marshall Mathers LP. I'm assuming the first one, right? Second album. Not the Marshall Mathers LP Part 2. Yeah. I didn't know if somebody else said something else. You said Michael Jackson made MTV lit. Yeah. I mean, nobody ever denied that. Everybody knows that story about Michael Jackson not getting played on MTV and all that. Yeah, Decometer says, of course, he became the great white hope of hip hop. Tap Stap says Jamaica Queens. Shout out, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Jamaica Queens. I stayed in Queens for a minute. I stayed on a different side of Queens. I forgot which side it was. It wasn't too far from the city though. It was a while ago though. That was a long time ago though. That was like back when I was in school. I've always said that Eminem stole Chino Style. Yep, see? We said that. Ooh, wow. Black Racer asked or Blank Racer, you asked Black Thought or MF Doom. That's a cold one, man. That's a cold one. Those are two of my favorite rappers, man. And by the way, I'm glad you brought up those two rappers, MF Doom, who I've actually met, by the way. Met him without the mask on, too. I actually think that Doom and Black Thought are also two rappers who are better than Tupac. Thank you for bringing that part up, too, real quick. They're both rappers that are better. Yeah, Decometer says LL ended Cannabis, but Cannabis definitely won that battle. Cannabis, he said, "Well, I'm taking you out like Mr. Like they're gonna have to call Mr. Farrakhan about the bomb. Like, oh my God, like the way Cannabis came off on that. No, he won that battle, but LL destroyed his career. He's right. LL destroyed his career, but LL destroyed his career corporately. Like what Drake was trying to do to Kendrick. Like exactly what Drake did or was trying to do to Kendrick is exactly what LL did to Cannabis. But as far as lyrically goes, as far as the second round knockout where he even had Mike Tyson in the video, get out of here, man. Where he was training in the ring with Mike Tyson. Oh, that's a classic, dude. That's a classic. Shout out Rico Who for the follow, man. I appreciate you on that. Cannabis was a way better lyricist. Yeah, I mean, LL's not really a lyricist. LL was more like a ladies, like LL, Ladies Love Cool J. Like, he was more like a ladies man, pop star kind of. He was kind of like Drake. He was like the Drake of the 80s. That's exactly what LL was. And that's why LL came with Mama Said Knock You Out, because everybody was talking trash about him. And I respected LL, who is funny we're talking about because Eminem says that LL is one of his favorite rappers. But I respect LL. Like when he came with Mama Said Knock You Out, that was like my favorite album by LL, you know? But to go back to the one comment that you said about Doom versus Eminem or Doom versus Black Thought, that's a tough one real quick because those are two of my favorite rappers. But I will say that I think Black Thought is a better lyricist. Like just as far as like an overall lyricist, I think Black Thought is better. But I love The Roots. The Roots is definitely one of my favorite groups of all time. Favorite rap groups or bands, whatever you want to call it. But I like listening to MF Doom's songs better though, if that makes sense. Like I prefer to listen to MF Doom's music. You know what I'm saying? Especially the music that he does with Madlib. But Black Thought, I think it's just like an overall doper MC. Like when Black Thought raps, it's like, oh shit. Like it's like, whoa. Like he sounds like he's just like, pfft. Like he is definitely one of the greatest rappers of all time. There is no doubt about it. There is no doubt. Like Doom is definitely one of the greatest rappers, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think Doom is like a top 10, maybe. Like I said, he again is like in my top 20. See, my list is real thorough, man. My list is thorough. Like just to be in my top 25, I think is competitive. I think it's real competitive. You know what I'm saying? But Eminem could be in my top 20. You know what I'm saying? There you go. The commenter. It looks like it says the commander. Yeah, Mos Def, Yasin Bey. Blank Rockier, if I can read your name right. My top 5, like I said, man, it's hard to say because it always changes. But as I said in the comments earlier, Tupac is not in my top 5. I don't even know if I'd say that Tupac is in my top 10. But my top 5, I'd say that Nas is definitely in that list. Nas is in that list. Jay-Z could possibly be in that list. Rakim could be there somewhere. Andre from Outkast kind of goes in and out a little bit. Andre is definitely in my top 10. Is Andre 3000 in my top 5? Goes back and forth. Mos Def is dope and nice. I met him once. He's a cool cat. Yeah, I met him too. He's real humble. You're right. Same thing with Kweli. I met Kweli too. Trizzy, that's a dope list. You said Big, Hove, Nas, Pac, and Jadakiss. That's a dope list. I'm not mad at that. Jadakiss is definitely a dope rapper too. I don't know if Jadakiss would be in my top 5 because, you know, when I look at top 5 rappers, I'm also looking at rappers who put out great albums. And I know Jadakiss's first album is a dope rap album, but overall, Jadakiss, yeah, he's like a top 15, top 20 rapper. If anything, Jadakiss might be like top 25 for me. Concrete Quarter says Andre, and Andre. Who knows? Some people said that Andre's working on a new album. Well, 3 MCs too that we have to bring up that are working on new albums, or 2 for show, is Kendrick Lamar. There's rumors of Kendrick Lamar working on a new album, and there's rumors of Jay-Z working on a new album. Interesting that I haven't heard anybody bring up Kendrick Lamar in this talk today yet. I haven't heard anybody bring up Kendrick Lamar. Isn't that interesting? Jay-Z. Let's go back to Jay-Z. Andre, wait, let me go make sure I go back to your comment. You said Blanket, you said Black Thought, Doom, Kendrick. Okay, so one of y'all did say Kendrick. Okay. That's a good one. Big Boy. You might as well just say Outkast. Andre and Big Boy. Just say Outkast. Andre hasn't ever had a solo rap album, though, unfortunately. True, but what he did with Outkast and the lyrics that he provided with Outkast was pretty amazing, man. Pretty monumental. So Money, Power, Respect, We Are the Streets weren't great albums. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a great album. Kendrick top 20. I agree with that. Rika Hood says you're from LA and you're not a Kendrick fan. That's okay. That's cool. I got a couple friends from LA too that don't like Kendrick. They say that Kendrick's not their favorite rapper. Absol doper than Kendrick. That's debatable. I've heard that before from some people, but I think that's debatable now. Like as a better rapper or puts out better projects, because like that's a whole nother story. You blank. You said Rakim, Nas, Scarface also could be a top 5. Yeah, I agree with that. Rakim is definitely in my top 5. I wouldn't ever doubt Andre. Just really wish he had a solo album to run with. Well, they kind of did that with The Love Below, but I know he was on some different stuff on that album. Rika Boo says you don't like Kendrick's voice. Yeah, somebody else had said that to me too. They said they don't really like the alien stuff that he does. Let's see if we can find some information on him. But they said that's why he hasn't been responding to anything, is because he hasn't cared to, respond to what people are saying. And did you hear Kodak Black? I don't know if I could say the word. Kodak Black basically said that him, Kanye West, and Kendrick have a group, and it's called the KK. I'll let you fill in the rest. I don't know if I could say it on the stream. Scarface's Tiny Desk concert, the best rap performance on there. I agree with that. It was pretty good. I saw that. What about the clips, though? The clips was pretty dope, too, though, I thought. But I don't like Drake even more. Yeah, I could agree with you on that. Haha, Quasimodo. Yeah, Madlib is definitely dope, man. I could rap any song off of Good Kid, Mad City. You know what I'm saying? To all my misses, wifey, mistress, and misses. I don't really like pay attention that much to like rappers' lyrics anymore because I do my own beats and my own stuff. So I'm not like a fan like that. I'm not like a fan where like I go and I memorize the rappers' verses. Like Jay-Z's one of my favorite rappers, and I can recite some of his verses. But I know songs I can take like Good Cat City. Like, listen, I'm about to this whole like when I'm still building my studio, but one of these days when I finish building my studio, I'm gonna have every album hip hop that is a classic up here on the wall. And I will tell you that Good Kid, Mad City will definitely go on the wall. What else should go on the wall is And I'll be honest with you too, man. I'll be honest with you too. There's a Drake on the wall too. Take Care's going on the wall. Biggie too. Call the Crips, same number, same hood. I can say that one. Anyone mention Earl? No, you're the first one that's mentioned Earl Sweatshirt. Interesting. I've heard a lot of people always say Earl Sweatshirt, especially when it's Gen Zers. Jump check. The Gen Zers always Earl Sweatshirt. They always say it. Wait, I was just reading what someone said. Okay. I was seeing if Lupe had said something else. Favorite albums of this year so far. Whew. I know a lot of y'all gonna get mad about this, man. My favorite hip hop album so far was the J. Cole album when J. Cole dropped. But then I'm not gonna lie, man. I kind of like the Drake Iceman. I kind of like the way he came back with that one, man. I feel like he took it back to when he was rhyming. The beats, the production, I was feeling it, man. But I'm telling you right now, I'm really curious to hear what Jay-Z's gonna do. Like I think that Jay-Z's gonna drop. I think that's what the whole preparation of this concert is for. The whole preparation of this concert with Jay-Z is him getting ready to drop. Earl's super dope. Cool G Rap, I agree, man. Cool G Rap is underrated. I mean, like that's the next thing we gotta do. We gotta do a list of the most underrated rappers. The most underrated rappers, dude. Like, yeah, Skizzo, one of y'all had said, Conway the Machine, possibly Earl Sweatshirt could be in that list. Ab-Soul could be in that list. Yes, I agree with you. Jean Grey, low key, will outflow half of these dudes. I agree with you. Jean Grey is like a female rapper who don't really get that much clout. I don't know if she's still rapping though, but yeah, Jean Grey was dope. But especially the stuff she did with Ninth Wonder. I mean, come on, man. The stuff is like, but see, that's another thing, man. Some of y'all forget, man. Y'all forget that Drake used to work with Ninth Wonder too. He used to work with Little Brother. Let's not forget Fonte. Don't forget Fonte. Drake's idol. Bone Thugs and Harmony. Yup, shout out Bone Thugs, especially Crazy Bone for doing that video on the secret meeting in hip hop. She married Quale Chris and he dope. Yep, I heard about that. Hip hop still had a pulse. Most artists are using the radio formula. Could you explain a little bit on that? What do you mean by they're using the radio formula? Yeah, enlighten us on the radio formula. But yeah, man, Rakim, who I have on the wall right here, man. Eric B and Rakim, make him clap to this. Thank you for the likes coming in, though. I appreciate y'all, man. On the what's up with YouTube, man? We got to get a little bit something going up here on YouTube. Usually YouTube is more popping. Like I said, it's interesting how it picks and chooses. The algorithms pick and choose. Crazy is the best Bone member. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I met Lazy Bone a couple times. Lazy Bone is real humble, though. Lazy Bone's a cool cat. Did y'all see that video though that Crazy Bone did where he talked about the secret meeting of hip hop? We were talking about that on the other stream. You guys got to go back and watch that. Danny Brown. Yeah, man. Shout out Danny Brown. I mean, my family's from Detroit, so I love a bunch of Detroit rappers and producers. Like, pretty much everybody coming from Detroit, I respect. Like, don't y'all say Big Sean, man. Big Sean's my cousin. He's like a cousin, believe it or not. He's not my official cousin, but might as well damn near, you know, be, because his family is part of my family too. Like, they all grew up together and went to school together and all that, which is pretty crazy. Lazy is cool. Yeah, he is cool. But yeah, I know we were talking about Eminem. Let's not forget Slum Village. Even the people that rapped with Dilla, Guilty Simpson was dope. I think Danny Brown, 14 KT. Yep, definitely dope. Okay, so some of y'all know what's up with the underground. I appreciate that. Yeah. You ever hear of Left from Detroit? Now, I haven't heard of that person. Yeah, we brought up Royce. Elzai, definitely from Slum Village, or the newer Slum Village. T3. But let's not forget, there's another girl. There was a girl from Detroit that was pretty dope, but I don't know what happened to her. What was her name? Dej Loaf? Remember Dej Loaf? Dej Loaf was like really dope, yo. She was like making some noise for a minute, man. Yeah, Blanket Racer or Race Car, if I can see your name. You said Royce is low-key better than Eminem. Well, I've heard that. I've heard some people say that. That could be opinion. I definitely love that song. My favorite song by Royce is the one he did with Primo, where it was like hip hop or something like that. Like, I like my rhymes and write my ways. Like, that song was like a really dope song. Yeah, Dej Loaf, they stole her style. A Boogie or whatever. Yeah. I could kind of see that. The commenter says Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Yep, shout out Pete Rock and CL Smooth, man. Saint Swanton says you disagree. Saint Swanton, you're wonton, if I can see that. You disagreed with what exactly? Urge says the culture gave room for mediocrity. I believe you on that, man. I mean, look at the BET Awards. The BET Awards were horrible, man. It was like terrible what they did over there. Apollo Brown is one of the dopest producers in Detroit. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, man, if you could put in the comments, what are Apollo Brown's top 10 beats? Because we also do a top 10 series on YouTube that a lot of people like. And a lot of people always want me to do the top 10, but I feel like we've already covered pretty much almost every producer. So y'all tell me, what's another producer, or like, what are his beats? What are his 10 top beats? Like, it could be any rapper. It doesn't matter who the rapper is. Just like, we're looking at beats specifically. Like, what are his top 10 production? You could put them in the comments, man. Even if I can't get to it right this second, I can always go back and look back on the stream and see what are the top 10 beats that you said. Nick Craven. Concrete Quarter says none of them. Saint Swans, yes. Oh, yeah, you say you disagree on that. You take M over Royce. Yeah, man, I agree with that. Like, Royce is dope. You see, but there's just something that comes with not just being a good rapper. Like, it's also about having star power. You know what I mean? And M just has that star power. Hold on. Let me make sure that's coming through cool. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Tap says M over everybody. M is your favorite rapper? Is that your favorite rapper? Del the Funky Homo Sapien, yep. I mean, yo, there's a lot of dudes from Souls of Mischief, Hieroglyphics that are underrated. Opio's pretty dope too, man. I think Opio is really underrated. Bizzo says hip hop is a popularity contest nowadays. Yep, I agree. And it's all about who's trending. It's not really about like who puts out the dopest albums anymore. It's just about who's got that dance going on TikTok now. Because, like, let's just be honest. The radio is now TikTok. That's the radio now. That's the new radio. Like, if you get a song trending on TikTok, then most likely you're gonna probably blow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the new trend. But it seems like, isn't it funny that a lot of the songs that are trending on TikTok and all that stuff are like the same types of songs that you would hear on the radio? And then the other interesting fact is that I've noticed now the times have changed, where before, what was like trending on the radio or whatever would start trending on TikTok, like before TikTok got really big. But now that TikTok is like pretty big, it seems like the songs that are trending on TikTok is what you now will hear on the radio. So it's like it's like done a 180. Yeah. Rico Hood says, I don't call that trash hip hop. Yep. Triple TK says, yeah, man. I mean, it's almost like I wouldn't be surprised, like the Young Miami spin that, like we were talking about on another stream. I wouldn't be surprised if she has the record companies that are paying for these people to trend on TikTok. You know, they probably throw a couple influencers some bread and say, hey, create a dance to this. And then they know that they're going to go and create a dance to it. And then everybody's going to see that dance, right? And then everybody's going to start doing the dance. Like, they probably don't even care what the song is about. They're just doing the dance. You know what I'm saying? And then once these people start doing the dance, then the dance becomes a trend. And then all of a sudden the song becomes a trend, because then people will say, oh, well, if influencers that have like millions of followers are doing dances to this song, then eventually people will start listening to the song and be like, hey, yo, like, what's that song? What's that spin that? Oh, my, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, everybody goes and they listen to that, and then that starts trending. And then the song starts to trend. And then now the radio stations are saying, oh, well, that's the song that's hot on TikTok, so now let's play it on the radio station. Yeah, Triple TK says it's all about commercialization now. It's definitely about that now. I mean, I think it's always been about that, but now even more so. Like, it's all about money. It's all about making money and who's making money. Who better than ALC? Oh, wait, maybe Madlib. Yeah, I agree with that. Probably Madlib. I think Madlib is a better producer than Alchemist. Yeah, it's pop rap. Yeah, when you say name a better producer than ALC, are you saying like that's still here with us? Because if not, if I could just say period of all, I would say Dilla. You know what I mean? But, you know, if you're talking about rappers who are still currently active, then Madlib, I would say, is better than ALC. And shout out to Alchemist, though. That's the homie. I know dude personally. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Alchemist, Venice Originals, all the homies, Evidence. You know, yeah, man. Like, those are all homies right there. That's like fam. You know what I mean? But I got to keep it real. Like, that's what this conversation right here is about. Triple TK says, do you like Jay-Z? I got Jay-Z right here on the wall. Blueprint. Which he's probably going to do. Yep. Christian Martin says, them boys, I don't know if I could say all that on the stream, but yeah, they funded gangster rap. Yep. We were talking about that earlier, like how you had Crazy Bone and all them talk about the secret meeting. Do I like Jay-Z? Yes, of course. But yeah, remember when they stayed, Just Tacky says, I'm not sure who you're talking about. Which rappers were are you talking about some rappers, or was that just someone in general? Yeah, Jay-Z is definitely top 5 rappers of all time. Yeah, Triple TK. Yeah, we all said we like Doom. We like go. Yeah, some of y'all need to go back and read some of the comments. A lot of these rappers that you guys are mentioning now, we have definitely mentioned in the comments. We've mentioned pretty much every rapper. I mean, you guys actually mentioned a lot of underground rappers too. Lil Weezy, we talked about him before. I respect his hustle and his grind, but I feel like he's one of the rappers that were paid to destroy the culture of hip hop. and they brainwashed people into thinking that he was a real rapper, and I think that's starting to show now. That's the reason why, you know, I think it's starting to show. But I know Weezy's been going through some stuff, so I've just thought like, you know, and I've been kind of getting on him on some streams. So I thought just for, you know, I just thought like I'd probably let lay off of Wayne a little bit today, you know. Kanye is way better than Khaled. I completely agree. Who said that? Someone said that Khaled is better than Kanye? Yo, I gotta ask this question, man. Like, I don't even know if Khaled, I gotta be clowning Jay-Z right here. I don't even know if Khaled even makes his own beats. Like, that's what I wonder sometimes. Does he even make his own beats? You said he's Memphis Grizzlies, huh? Yeah, Mixtape Wayne is definitely dope. And some of his Carter albums were dope, too. Yeah, I don't even know if Khaled makes his own beats, man. I really wonder that sometimes. I'm like, you know, and then remember how he was like shouting out Drake is going to be on his new album? Like, before Drake dropped Iceman, he was like shouting it out like, yo, Drake's going to be on my new album, blah, blah, blah. And then Drake posted up on social media. He said, no, I ain't. He said, I don't know where you got that from. I ain't going to be on your album. And then he took it down real quick. He took the post down real quick. But then also after that, the other interesting thing is that Drake comes back and disses Khaled, right? About the whole like, hey, your people are still waiting for a free Palestine. I think they just promoted it right now. As a matter of fact, since you said that, let's see if we can pull that up. I think he just went on Fat Joe and Jadakiss. Speaking of which, one of y'all brought up Jadakiss as your favorite rapper. He just went on Jadakiss and Fat Joe's podcast. I'll pull it up and was playing one of the songs. Well, actually, maybe we can't play that because it might get the sound. The sound might not be able to get monetized. Can you guys hear me okay on YouTube? I know I'm pretty sure you guys can hear me all right on the talk, but YouTube, am I coming in okay? Because I know we got people watching here on YouTube as well. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was just doing this stream, because I got other people on other platforms watching, but I want to make sure that you guys can hear me okay on YouTube as well. Because, yeah, YouTube usually be a little bit more active than this. So they barely want to sign any new raw talent. If you don't sound the same, they don't want to say yes. Yeah, Desert Eagle, I completely agree with you. You said it has kind of fallen off, but it's still here in the underground. We're giving it everything we got. Okay. Concrete Quarters, I'll probably go with Pusha T. Some of us shadow ban the talent we tried to express. Yeah, I could see that. So I'm assuming that you're probably a rapper. Deltron 3030 goes hard. Yep, as F. For those who don't know. Yep, I mean, Del the Homo Sapien is a dope rapper, man. That's for sure. Stuff he did with Gorillaz is classic, too. The lyrics were a little better, but overall sound a style hip-hop better nowadays. I am Ziggy. You said the sound and style of hip-hop is better nowadays? Okay. You're actually the first person in this chat. Well, not. Maybe the second. According to most people that have been in this chat, you're one of the first. Triple TK, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. But yeah, it's easier to get on, but much harder to stay when it comes to new artists now. I mean, you got to be able to cut through the noise, man. There's a lot of noise out there. Even with these types of discussions with the streamers and the whatever, all the wannabe hip hop journalists, and a lot of these people that speak on the culture, they ain't even been around to even really understand the culture. Like when they were born and started listening to rap, hip hop had already fallen off, in my personal opinion. I think it has its little spurts when it comes back, but overall, I'll say that I think personally that rap music has fallen off overall. Most people get stuck in the underground. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Hold on. Let's pull up this one thing real quick. Producer, rap engineer. Want to school the theory of music and mixing and mastering. Okay. Word, man. So you know what's up. You've been doing it for a minute. You said, I can get down with the gimmick of Caesar face, the whole comic thing coming from Wu-Tang, coming from, yeah, the Kung Fu movies. Yep. This shows what a couple, what do you mean, Boy Stop? Was that for me or someone else? This shows what a couple big wigs, Memphis Bleak, Fred, the Godson, yeah, Mr. Cheeks from Lost Boys. Yeah, Mr. Cheeks was big back in the days too. I said lights, camera, action. Now is the second golden era. Huh, you don't say. Yeah, maybe. I could kind of see that. We need the 5 mics back. I was just thinking that too. Shout out to the blog era for running the game as long as they have. I feel the pop gonna overshadow rap. Okay. I think we're kind of going back to the blog era too. If you ask me, underground has always been the best music. Desert Eagle. Yeah, I agree. Chic, Lounge, and dope shouldn't be in the same sentence. Okay. I mean, that's the locks, right? So you think Shaq, or not Shaq, but you said LeBron and Stephon Curry, huh? Yeah, I agree. That's a good point that one of y'all made about how we're in the second era. I completely agree with that, man. I think that there's a possibility that we are definitely in the second era of hip-hop right now. Or the second golden era, I should say. I could see that point. Because, yeah, man, it seems like... I was just thinking that today too, man, so I'm glad you brought that up. Like, I was just thinking that I think people are getting tired of all of the same rap. I mean, isn't this why, like, before Drake had dropped, what's it called? Iceman? And I know he dropped 3 other albums or 2 other albums, but let's just talk about the Iceman, because that was more of the rap album. Right after Drake dropped Iceman, then hip-hop went back to the Billboard charts, right? But before Drake had dropped Iceman, there was no hip-hop on the Billboard charts for, like, they said the same, for, like, the first time in, like, what, 20-something years or plus? 30-something, like, was the first time. It's more of commercial albums now, instead of lyrically dense albums. Yeah, I agree with you. Belle Laurel says it fell off. Yeah, I agree. Old hip-hop is better than new hip-hop. You know, and Phantom Rain, I want to say I agree with you because, you know, it's funny. I was just watching some movies the other night, and it's like every time I watch a movie, and these are movies that are just current.
Are you kind of trolling by picking people that are like not really that great, or is there something that we're missing because niggas don't understand the logic shit at all? Do you still think?
We're gonna play this conversation in just a second. It's with Lupe Fiasco on this panel. And by the way, if you guys know who this panel is, tell them to put me on their panel because I've been asking to go on this panel. But yeah, old school hip hop is better than new hip hop. I completely agree with you on that. Because, like I said, I was watching these movies and all these new movies that come out, if you notice, they always put old school rap or older hip hop, especially from the golden era, like I mentioned earlier. They put that hip hop in the movies all the time. I rarely ever hear this new hip hop getting music placements like in movies or even commercials. Like when you watch like a Domino's Pizza commercial or even like a T-Mobile commercial or a Google commercial, they're always playing old school hip hop. They're like, you can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with this or you can get with that. You know, I hear that song like in every commercial. Every commercial that song is in. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah. Phantom Rain, you hear me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure, man. Why Tadash Sean, you said it's been fell off. I agree, man. We can't forget about MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice blowing up in the Rakim and KRS era, though. Man, when Ice Ice Baby dropped, that dude, listen, if Vanilla Ice had never screwed up, yeah, you know, I feel you. I need more artists like Michael Jackson too. If Triple KT says, or TK says, Drake is keeping it alive, explain. I know some people are going to get mad at you in the comments for that. Concrete Quarter says Rock Marciano needs to be held. He made a lot of today's sound after Uno. Yeah, I like Rock Marciano. He's definitely underrated. Yeah, but about Vanilla Ice, man. If Vanilla Ice had never screwed up his career, he would be bigger than Eminem. Like, he would have been bigger than, even though Eminem is a better rapper, I understand it, but I'm talking about as far as star power, like Vanilla Ice could be up there, could have been up there with, like, he could have been up there, man, like at that level of like super star power. I mean, let's not forget, Vanilla Ice was also dating Madonna. And this is like when Madonna was like still kind of big. You know what I'm saying? Like, Madonna was still hot. She wasn't doing what she's doing now. Like, whatever she's doing. Tap 1980 said, how did he screw up? I'll tell you how he screwed up. There was a couple of things he did. But I remember, because I remember the time when Vanilla Ice dropped. I was in school at the time, and I was like, yo, man, like, everybody was playing Ice Ice Baby. That was all over the radio. I mean, you still hear it. Speaking of which, again, you still hear it in movies as well. He screwed up like this. You guys can go back probably and look this up. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. Maybe we could pull it up. I mean, I didn't really want to search for it right now. But he went on Arsenio Hall. I think that was one of the main things that he did where he screwed up. You know, if those of you that don't know, Arsenio Hall was like the talk show that all the rappers at that time were going on. You know what I'm saying? It was like the Jimmy Fallon or, you know, Jimmy Kimmel, but like the black show. He was like like what Shannon Sharp is now. That's what Arsenio Hall was doing on TV back in the early 90s. You feel what I'm saying? Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. Yeah, he was even doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Come on. But he went on Arsenio Hall, and Arsenio Hall was cool because he didn't just have rappers come on. He also would have what's it called? Them perform. Like, he had Tupac come on the show. He had Mike Tyson come on the show. I remember he had an awkward episode with like Mike Tyson and Diddy. So Vanilla Ice goes on Arsenio Hall, right? And then, of course, it's the black show, right? So people want to know, where is Vanilla Ice from? And he goes up and starts saying that he's from the hood. Bad move, man. Bad move. Because you see, back then, it wasn't cool for rappers to like not come from the hood. It wasn't cool. You know what I mean? Like, back then, people wanted rappers that were from more humble beginnings. And so when Vanilla Ice went up there and says, let's see, and then people were talking trash about it. I mean, I don't know if this is where he talks about where he came from, but here, I'll pull this up on YouTube just for context. Yeah, like Arsenio, of course, asked him, like, so where you from? And he's like talking about like how he grew up in the ghetto, he grew up in the projects, did other things. I mean, Vanilla Ice even went up and even said this in an interview where he said Eminem learned everything of what not to do from him. So people, of course, went and did their research. And this was before the internet, too. So keep that in mind. People went and did their research and found out that he was lying about everything. Like, I think he actually came from the suburbs, of course. He came from a nice family. He had money. Yeah, you said you watched this interview and you were even embarrassed for him. Yeah, we got it right here. You can probably hear it.
You seem to be having a lot of problem. Like, you talked about people that said a white
the Vanilla
boy
Ice
couldn't rap.
Arsenio.
I guess there are a lot of battles you're experiencing. KRS-One
here we go.
Said that you present a distorted mutation of rap. What is that? I'm not sure what that means.
KRS-One, we forgot about KRS.
They also said that, you know, I'm bringing rap audience.
See, like the way he's talking to with the black accent, It's just, you know. All right, so for context, let's play a little clip of the interview that he did with Arsenio Hall. But I think that this interview that he did with Arsenio Hall was actually the one that, like, messed up his career. Yeah, same thing. Boss, yeah, yep, I agree. And not only that, but it's just like, look, just tell the truth, man. See, and that's the difference. That's why I think Eminem, I've always said this too, man. I don't think that Eminem would be as famous as he was or is for a lot of factors. I also think that him being from Detroit was a big deal. Like if Eminem would have been from LA, maybe. But you see, I don't think he would have been rhyming the same if he was from LA. You see, I think the fact of him being from Detroit and being from the snow and all that stuff, because I listen, I used to stay in Detroit. Like Detroit is a rough city, especially at that time, man. New Boom Rantuna says new boom bap is killing it. We'll look back and realize it. Please name some of the new boom bap. It's funny because I just heard one of these hyphy producers on Twitter today who was talking trash about boom bap. Let's check the interview real quick with Vanilla Ice and Arsenio Hall, just for historical archives reasons. Concrete Cortez says we gotta do some content. Hey man, I'm always down, man. Send me the link. You know what I'm saying? I'll check out some of you guys' stuff after this talk.
You seem to be having a lot of problem. You talked about people that said a white boy couldn't rap. I guess there are a lot of battles you're experiencing. KRS-One said that you present a distorted mutation of rap. What is that? I'm not sure what that means.
I have no idea what it meant. I read the same article. They also said that, you know, I'm bringing rap music to an audience that has never heard it before as well. True. So, you know, whether I like it or not, it's bringing rap music up, you know. I mean, I'm putting it in front of people that never even considered listening to rap music.
True.
And now they're considering it, and it's bringing rap music up. You know, rap music is here to stay. No matter what color it is, I'm not the Elvis of rap. That's another thing, you know.
They were calling him the Elvis of rap. Hold on. Wait. Let me make sure I'm on. Yeah, they were calling him the Elvis of rap before Eminem. Man, this is a historical interview if you really think about it. This interview right here with Vanilla Ice and Arsenio Hall is actually kind of an historic interview because he actually went up there, and I think this was what year, like 91 or something like that? He went up there and said, rap is here to stay. Yo, you can't say that Vanilla Ice did not predict that. Looks like it was 1990. It was either between 1990 and 1991. Possibly 1990. What was the name of his first album? Cool as Ice? Oh, Vanilla Ice first album. Let's see. I want to see. I think it came out in 89. Maybe, right? What year did it come out? No content talk, hip hop all day. Exactly, man. You mean like no content talk of like what Akademiks and all them be talking about? All the gossip? Let's see. What year did it come out? Yeah, thank y'all for tuning in though, man. Like, I was about to jump up out of here, but I think maybe I'll keep it going for a little bit longer since you guys are being real active in the comments. 1989. On SBK Records. To the extreme. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal, light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. That's a karaoke song, right? How can you not know that? Oh, okay. Well, we'll check out someone, but you guys are at least saying in the content or comments what you guys say. Shout out Nikki. I'm not sure who Malcolm is Buffalo Gals, but I'll look it up. Man, Vanilla Ice is actually, he said, but he also made some good points right here where he said, my music or my rap is reaching people who would never listen to rap. Let me see here. Where have I heard that before? Where have I heard that? Okay, Nikki, I'll check that out. You said it's an old ham. Sounds good. Or old jam? Okay. Old ham, old jam. Have to check that out. like I said, I always like hearing music that maybe I haven't heard of before, or maybe I have heard it, I just don't remember the name. But I think that Vanilla Ice, like, he made a good point right here, because I think, yes, man, I think that that's what Eminem had also said. Eminem had also said that his music has reached places that people would probably never even have considered listening to rap. And that's the reason why, or one of the reasons why I think Eminem has sold so many records. I mean, didn't he say this in one of his songs on Eminem show? I forgot which song it was, but he's like, it's like me and Dre just switched sides. You know what I mean? Like, cause like Dre first had, of course, all the black fans, and Eminem had all the white fans, but then now Eminem got the black fans too, and then Dre got the white fans by working with Eminem. So it's like, he even said that, like, they co-mingled. Brother B-Rod says hip-hop has definitely fallen off. DMC and Aerosmith made the crossover. Yep, with Walk This Way. Great point. Who was that? Austin Powers? Shout out Austin Powers. That's a great movie too. Is it the Austin Powers? Shout you out, man. Yeah, man. Walk This Way. Jin could have been the Asian M. Yeah, we said that too before. I used to watch those battles on 106 in Park. My goal was to get on that battle. I was trying to get up on that battle for the 106 in Park. And then MTV did the same thing, and I almost got on MTV, but, you know, didn't make the second or third cut. Big Hank the GOAT says it fell off. Yeah. Tap Staps 1980 influential. Michael McLaurin, world famous Supreme team is a bit better. Are these rappers that you're bringing up, Nikki? Are these rappers, or are these R&B singers or rock? Miss Big Tigga in the booth. You mean Tigga in the booth? Okay, I'll have to check that out. I probably know the song, but play Buffalo Girls. It's not rap. Well, sometimes we can't play the music because of I'm also streaming on YouTube, and sometimes they copyright. Let's go on and see what Eminem says. Or Vanilla Ice, my bad. Not Eminem, but Vanilla Ice.
Elvis Presley. You know, I know a lot of black rappers.
Vanilla Ice definitely had the girls, though. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm sure I know it. Sometimes I always know the songs when I hear it. I just, you know, all right. For now it's bugging me. Now I feel like I gotta look it up. All right, let's see if we could play a little clip of it. Just for context. Just for context. Mac Lauren. World famous Supreme. Yeah, that sounds old school, but I'm sure I know it. I know pretty much all the songs. It's just sometimes it's always the names that I have to remind myself of. Okay. I think I have it right here. Let me just make sure. I'll probably play an ad real quick, but let's just skip the ad. Can't play too much of it because we don't want the video to get, you know. I gotta monetize the video, you know what I'm saying? So while that's loading up, let's see. I'll just play a little sample of it just because I want to hear what you guys are talking about. Here. Yeah, I'll probably do that too. You're right. I could play a little sample of it real quick.
Supreme, world's famous Supreme.
This, is that right there? Okay, yeah. I'll save this on my list. I'll save it on the list. Let me put that in the files. Put that in the archives. Yeah. That's like the old school stuff. That's like, okay, are we going back to Curtis Blow? We're going back to Curtis Blow. But like, yo, man, Slick Rick had some pretty dope stuff too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, Slick Rick some of his stuff is still timeless to this day. The commenter says, "You're sorry, but you ain't never Vanilla Ice in your hood. Barbecue, block parties. I saw him on MTV. Yeah, I saw him on MTV." Cam says, "Shout out to KRS-One." Yeah, shout out KRS-One. I don't know if you're that. I don't know if Nicki's that old. I can't really see the picture, but it don't seem that old. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of young people now because of the internet, which is good. Thank you for the likes coming in, by the way. There's a lot of young people who, what's it called, are going back and listening to old school stuff. And I'm glad you said that, because now I have some music coming up in my algorithm. I see Buffalo Gals. Let's not forget Black Moon. That's funny that nobody has said Black Moon yet. Do y'all know that Black Moon actually is who influenced Wu-Tang Clan? And Onyx. Haven't heard anybody say Onyx yet either. But yes, shout out KRS-One. Thank you for the follow, the commenter. I appreciate you. Thank you for the follow. You said, yeah, Vanilla Ice, maybe they didn't play him in the barbecues and all that stuff, but he definitely was on the radio too, though. I remember hearing Vanilla Ice on the radio and MTV, like you said. Like, all the major radio stations were playing Ice Ice Baby. Come on. It's funny, though. I wonder if I still hear that song on the radio, though, to this day. But I definitely hear it at karaoke clubs or karaoke bars. Since Flashback, though, them things and Young Boy Outside Today. Yeah, come on, hip hop is forever, of course. Well, shout out to you. 60 is a great age. That's a great age. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to 60. Yeah. Hey, still doing it. That's you've seen some things. That's a beautiful thing. So congratulations to your agent. Yeah, you should definitely follow us up on here, man, because we talk about these types of things and we always have these discussions on real hip hop. So I'm glad that today we're reaching a real hip hop audience, because sometimes, man, which I'm not mad at, because I like to have these conversations with all people who listen to hip hop, but sometimes I'll get these people in here who are like just Gen Z or younger, and they'll say something like, what did I hear? Like, Earl Sweatshirt is the greatest rapper of all time. Like, okay. Like, Earl's dope, but I don't think he's the greatest rapper of all time. Who else did they say? They'll say Baby Keem. I'm like, no. Yeah, Freeway. Are you talking about Freeway from Philly, from Philadelphia? The rapper Freeway who raps with Jay-Z? You know he's going to be at Yankee Stadium. Yeah, Tyler, the Creator's dope. You got to get off of Ice, though. We're even embarrassed by him. Yeah, well, because people were asking earlier, how did he ruin his career? I think he did a lot of things that ruined his career, but I think that him going on Arsenio Hall was definitely something that had ruined his career. Oh, okay, hold on. We got some people coming in on YouTube. Let me see what you said. Shout out Jose. You said he screwed up by making Ice Ice Baby. What are you talking about, man? Ice Ice Baby was a hit. That was the song that made him. What are you talking about? Not only was Ice Ice Baby a hit, but do y'all remember like Suge Knight and them were also involved in that, which is pretty weird. Like, they said that Suge Knight went and held him off the balcony. Did y'all know this? Let me give you guys a little piece of hip hop history in case you guys don't know this already. Did y'all know that they say that Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby, that song alone was actually what funded Suge Knight and Dr. Dre to be able to come out with, their label and drop The Chronic? Because I forgot, there was some producer, I have to go back and research it again, but there was some producer or some rapper. Yeah, Vanilla Ice made, yeah, exactly. You got it, Concrete Quarters. I just don't want to say too many names in the stream because, sometimes the algorithm gets a little, you know what I mean? But yeah, there was something that was in the contract, or there was like a producer who was working, like somebody who wrote the song Ice Ice Baby was one of the producers or whatever something like that. But whatever it was, they needed Vanilla Ice to sign a contract to get the money and to get him out. So they said, and Vanilla Ice talks about this. We could probably look this up and research this. He talks about where Suge Knight comes in. He tells him to go to a hotel room, and he says that they go to this hotel, right? And that Suge Knight basically threatens him and hangs him over a balcony. See if we can look that up. Yeah, so he said they threatened him and he signed a contract, and basically, yeah, man. Might be hard to find that interview. You know, they start getting stuff expunged these days. Let's check on YouTube. They try to get stuff taken off the internet, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I mean, he's like the reason why the label even came out. So, you know, thank you, T Zeus, for the follow. Appreciate you, man. Let's see if this is it right here. I mean, Vanilla Ice even put this on his own YouTube channel. He's got his own YouTube channel right here, where it looks like he's talking about it. Let's see. We got it right here on Vlad. We know Vlad's going to pull it up, right? Let me just stop this one real quick and pull this one up. Don't want it to. We got like a million windows open right now, so apologize if it's running a little slow, but we got like a million windows open. Thank you, Nikki, for the follow. I appreciate you. Yeah, but let's not forget, if we can play it real quick. Well, let me see. Like, interviews is okay. It's usually music that they trip on. You think Snoop has a ghostwriter? How he got worse with time? Yeah, good point, man. I think it's possible. I don't think Snoop really writes his own songs. I think Snoop is a famous rapper now to where he has people that just write the songs for him and give him the song. You know, Snoop is doing too many other things with Martha Stewart and all these other people. Freeway, What We Do. Do you know that song? Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. You're talking about Freeway from Philly, right? Yeah, I love Freeway. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let's pull it up over here. Let's see if this is it.
The album is blowing up. You go on a world tour.
We can't play too much Vlad stuff because
Things are
Vlad
getting better
flags.
and better for you.
Hold on.
Suge Knight starts managing chocolate. And you're eating at the Palm restaurant one day and Suge just pops up on you.
I didn't know that at the time.
You didn't know that, right.
Suge managed him? No. I don't even think it went that way, but okay. I think there's a different story there. The streets have different stories than probably your common research on your computer.
Okay.
Can't play too much of the
Walters
Vlad.
painted about him is a complete different picture of what most of people's public perception is about Suge Knight.
Yeah, here it is
He
right here
had
with
a good
Vanilla Ice.
personality. He was funny. We got along. Suge and I really never had a problem, a disagreement, or anything like that. I understood who he was. You don't need to beat Vanilla Ice up if you understand who someone is. You don't need to hang him over a balcony. The polishing of this story 30 years later has taken on so many different avenues and stories. I have to constantly just remind people, no, he never hung me over the balcony and none of that ever happened. And this is phony baloney. It's just the propaganda of the fluff of the way, I guess, that people fluff things
Squid
up.
Pie
with
saff if fall off.
interviews
If
and
you
reporters,
disagree,
right?
you have
Nothing
no
to you,
musical
but, you know,
intelligence.
It's just very common.
I
and
can
think
agree.
People understand that now.
Well, you go back to the hotel room, 2 guards, or
You need to
and
check,
Suge
no
is
lies
there in
told.
your room with like 5 guys. What's next?
I saw that they all had.
Okay, so Vanilla Ice walks into a room with his bodyguards, and Suge Knight and all his people are there
and that,
with guns. So regardless of whatever happens, I guess Vanilla Ice is saying that he was not hung over a balcony, but yet he still had to sign over the rights for Ice Ice Baby. So that's what it is. I think one of the producers that was working with Suge Knight also produced the track Ice Ice Baby for Vanilla Ice. So this is how they went and got the money to be able to do what they did with Dr. Dre, which, isn't it ironic how the people who were involved with Vanilla Ice are also somewhat, 6 degrees of separation involved with Eminem? Isn't that interesting? How ironic.
They're not to be fucked with, but they're very well dressed and smelled good. And they were all smiling and saying they're huge fans. And they wanted to take pictures for their daughters and their family And I did. And everything was cool. Until Suge said he'd like to talk to me on the balcony, alone. And I said, oh, okay, it's fine with me. My bodyguard stood up and he got slapped down.
He slapped the bodyguard.
Oh, yeah.
Himself or one of his guys?
I hate to tell you, he slapped him so hard, made him cry, my bodyguard.
Damn.
Oh, wow. Yeah. They took his gun from him, too.
Suge took your bodyguard's gun?
Suge didn't.
Oh, one of his guys did?
No. His guys, if you want to call them that. I think they were there for backup.
Okay.
I don't know if I should tell you too much. They were there. I'm not going to tell you who they were because I do know. And I'm not going to say all this stuff. I'm going to let you float around on your story a little bit.
Wasn't
take some
Chocolate
of the truth and stretch it like everybody else does.
Wasn't Chocolate there?
Oh, Chocolate was there in tears. In fact, he wasn't there.
Wasn't Chocolate there? Wasn't Chocolate there?
There's some information. In fact, he wasn't there. Yo, how many views does this video have? Okay, not even 500,000 yet. This is some hip hop history right here, though, man. Cause like, people don't realize that Ice Ice Baby birthed a lot of rap songs. If you really think about it, like just this whole scuffle that went down between Suge Knight and Vanilla Ice in the hotel room. Like there's a lot of like history that came here, because if this never happened, then they would have never got the funding. Dr. Dre probably would have never went on to do The Chronic. Dr. Dre would have never became super famous and successful. I mean, he was with NWA, but let's be honest. After The Chronic came out, that put Dr. Dre into another stratosphere. You know, it's like we were speaking about earlier. There's different levels to this, right? Like you have certain rappers that are like, okay, they get to this level, right? Or they're like underground. They're like right here, right? And then they may start building a little street cred. Like, okay, you're a pretty dope rapper. And then they become like underground to where now they're like making money from this. Like, okay, now they're like making some money from this and like they're selling some records. Then I believe now, because there's so many rappers, before I would say you go like independent after that. But then I'd say, yeah, it's like independent level. Well, before independent level, I'd say there's like a level right before that. There's like, they're not really underground, but they're not really mainstream independent yet either. They're like a Immortal Technique or R.A. the Rugged Man. It's surprised none of y'all said Immortal Technique in the comments yet either. But yeah, they're like an Immortal Technique, R.A. the Rugged Man, Evidence from Dilated People. The Evidence might be a little higher. Dilated Peoples might be a little higher, but you know what I'm saying? Like those types of rappers, like they're doing verses, they're getting paid for verses. They're not really super famous, but they're not also like super underground either. They're like, they had a few record deals, maybe dropped a few tracks, did a couple festivals. Okay. Like some of y'all said earlier, the Hobsons, the Dax. Then you have the indie rappers that are right above that, like the Talib Kweli's, the Mos Defs. Not Dilated, just Evidence. Okay, that's a good point. I mean, Rocka was like pretty big too back in the day. Shout out Rocka. He was like fan back in the days. Rocka's like up there. He's a dope MC. But yeah, then you got like Dilated Peoples. Then you got like, you know, who else? Yeah, like the West Side Guns. You know, them types of dudes. The Freddie Gibbs. The Conway Machines, you know, these rappers that are doing pretty well. You know what I mean? Like they're underground rappers. They're probably making a decent living from rap. You know, they're in circles with Jay-Z and people like that. They're making some money, right? So you got that level, right? And then after that, then you have the mainstream rappers. These are the rappers like the Wale's that you hear, the Tygas, because I know they just dropped some albums. Like now A$AP Rocky, I feel like has kind of fallen back down to that level. I think A$AP Rocky was like above that level at one point, but then I think he kind of fell back down to that level. But like, yeah, the Mos Defs, that's where they come in. You know, Alchemist, the Larry Junes, the Rock Marcianos. You know, these dudes that you could tell that are probably like making a pretty good living from, they may not be like super famous, like a Doom, like we said earlier, you know, even though he's not here no more in power, but you know, that level, like a rapper who's like obviously making, yeah, T Zeus, you're right about that. You know, I can't really get in the stove too much though. I mean, I can, but isn't that the MC, the rapper who Lord Jamar put out or helped put out? And he said that he just did him so dirty that it was just kind of like, oh man. But yeah, you got those mainstream rappers, right? But then the other point I was gonna make is that after you have those mainstream rappers, then you got the rappers who are just like out of the stratosphere. Like they're like out of here. They're on a whole nother universe. That's what we call them. They're out of here. Okay, they're in a whole nother stratosphere. That's your Eminems, your Kendrick Lamars. Dr. Dre kind of went to that plateau. Yeah, Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z. These are rappers who are like in it. Nas too. Let's not forget Nas. These are rappers who are like in a different stratosphere. You know what I'm saying? They're in a different stratosphere. So, yeah. Vanilla Ice had the opportunity to get to that level, but he messed up. But yeah, man, I don't know if people really know how much history is behind that meeting that Vanilla Ice had with Suge Knight. I can't believe that this hasn't been done in a movie yet. Like, that should be a reenactment. That was something that they left out of NWA, out of the Straight Outta Compton movie. I was just watching that movie the other day, too. For those of you that got Tubi, I think they got Straight Outta Compton on Tubi. Hopefully everybody in this chat has seen Straight Outta Compton, I would hope. And other rap movies, right? But, yeah, Straight Outta Compton is on Tubi right now. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like, Tubi got some good movies on there. I was like, oh, and the Milli Vanilli movie is pretty good, too, if you guys haven't seen that. I like the Milli Vanilli movie. I actually thought it was better than the Michael movie. Yeah, T Zeus says they left a lot of stuff they left out. Yeah, I agree, man. It was still a good movie, but I can't believe that they didn't show the Suge Knight Vanilla, because they portrayed Suge Knight in the movie. They portrayed Dr. Dre going from Ruthless Records to Aftermath, or to Suge, and then starting Aftermath afterwards. Well, it doesn't really show him starting Aftermath. It just shows that that's going to be the next chapter, which they kind of bit off of 8 Mile, but Jared the Box says rappers are mid. T Zoo says you love it. Yeah, I love it too. J Red says rappers are mid for the most part, just doing what they're told for money. I agree. Nikki says, do you like Dave East? Yeah, I like Dave East. I like Dave East. I mean, they even got that podcast now, right, with Jim Jones and them. Make sure you guys can hear me okay on the YouTube. Yeah, they got that podcast with Jim Jones, Fabulous, and Mano. And Fabulous is actually kind of a underrated rapper too. Like Fabulous, like I know Fabulous is like kind of mainstream, but yo, man, he can rap. He can rap. Like I gotta give Fabulous props. Like I gotta give him credit. Like he's not really my forte. He's not really my rapper who I'm like, oh yeah, man, Fabulous is like the dopest rapper in the world. But yeah, the commenter says just old tired dudes. I agree with you. Yeah, sleeping on Fab for a while, Dark Knight says. Shout out to Dark Knight. DNY, NYC, New York is picking it back up. Yeah, especially after the Knicks won the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're about to see a bunch of rappers coming out of... we're about to see a bunch of rappers coming out now. Yeah, the commenter says a lot of them have nothing to say. T-Zoo says, to my opinion, Fabulous is like Ludacris. They got bars, but don't make a full great album. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Buffalo is holding down NYC. Probably right now. That could be true. Anthony Villain says, no Michael Jackson of hip-hop is my whole point. I once thought it was Wayne. What about Drake or Kanye West? They both have tried to compare themselves to the Michael Jackson, the MJ of rap. I don't think so, though. Shout out Chef Beats Vegas for the follow. I appreciate you, man. Chef Beats Vegas. Yeah, that's cool, man. We always got producers up in here, so that's dope. Well, if it was Busta actually had a great full album, I don't know. Isn't he beefing with somebody too right now? I mean, I think he's always beefing with somebody. He's beefing with an underground rapper that y'all probably don't know about. Well, I know some of y'all might know because some of you have mentioned some underground rappers. Allagash, I think it's Allagash the Don. I think he's beefing with Busta Rhymes. I saw him post something on Facebook where I was like, oh, this dude's beefing with him. Anthony Williams says, you don't even like Drake's music. Yeah, man. I mean, it's subjective. Like, I'll tell you right now, man. Drake, Nikki says Drake is, well, I would agree with you, Nikki. I was trying to go back to your comments recently. Busta's good singles, whack albums overall. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Oh, wow. You said you don't like Kanye's music either. You don't like Kanye's old music or his new music? Because like Kanye, he said so himself. He said he changed up his style, like the old Kanye. I'm like that, man. Like I like the old Kanye, like how he says on one of his rap songs. I don't like the new Kanye either. Like the new albums that he's dropping. Like that's the one thing about Kanye too, man. And I'm a Kanye fan, yo. Like let me tell you something, man. I was bumping Kanye like before he became famous. Like some of y'all brought up Evidence in the chat. I don't know if some of y'all were on my other streams, but Evidence is like some of the reason of why Kanye even came out. Because Evidence, a lot of people forget, man, Evidence was producing, he produced some of the beats on College Dropout. And Evidence is like, was like trying to help Kanye get signed to Capitol Records. He even talks about that on his album. So, you know, I like old Kanye, I should say. But you're right, the new Kanye was just like, yeah, Chef says College Dropout and Graduation were, you like backpack Kanye, where he was wearing a Louis Vuitton backpack. I like Pablo. I'm glad you brought that up. The Life of Pablo was the last album that I liked, and you're not the first person that asked that, because now I've actually done my research and I think I know the order of Kanye's albums. Evidence says your favorite white rapper is Evidence. Okay. Or Consequence. I keep thinking your name says Consequence. Y'all forgot about that rapper. Y'all remember Consequence? But Concrete Quarters, not Consequence. But I keep thinking of that rapper. Speaking of Kanye, Consequence was pretty dope. Yeah, man, it goes good, or no, it goes College Dropout, Late Registration, The Graduation, which is my favorite Kanye album. What's after that? Is it Heart? Yeah, 808s and Heartbreaks. That was okay. I didn't really like that album at first, but it grew on me. Then I think it was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is another one of my favorites. Like I feel like he bounced back on that one. And that was like after the Taylor Swift thing. So I think that's when he really like had to like come out there, because the Taylor Swift thing almost ruined him. And then he had Life of Pablo. So yeah, I know that order. 808 changed rap. Yeah, I agree with you. Well, 808 was like the birth of Drake. After he dropped 808, that's when Drake and you know, to tell you the truth, I wasn't really effing with 808s when I first heard it. When I first heard it, I was like, what is this? Like when Kanye was, don't say you will, don't say you will. I was like, what the heck is this? But now I get it. Like after all, like the way rap is now and Drake and all that, I'm like, okay, now I see what he was doing. But you're right, 808s definitely changed rap. Russ was an artist that do it themselves with no labels. True, but I think one of his first albums, or after he made some buzz, he was on Columbia for a minute. He talks about that. So sometimes I think it's good to like get that little push from the label. That's what we were saying earlier about Lupe. Like you get that little push from the label, but then you go independent after that. You mean Kanye Light? Yeah. Remember, there are independent and labels. Yep, that's what we're talking about. Birth of experimental 2010s hip hop. Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, because Kendrick came out right around that time. Same thing with Drake. And I think they were like the two last two. Nikki says you like SZA a lot, not rap. And I know it's girly music, but I mean SZA got some fire though. I mean she's part of TDE. So Lizzo, I mean not Lizzo. I mean Lizzo's another funny one. But yeah, SZA got some stuff. I mean she got on the tracks with Kendrick, right? But I know you said you don't really like Kendrick. It was different Kanye. Yeah, this new Kanye stuff that he's been dropping like Bully. I feel like there was a couple of good songs that he dropped on Bully. But overall, it was just like and a lot of people had mentioned before, he had like 1 minute, 2 minute songs. It was just like, it wasn't really popping like that. Anthony Williams, 591. You said Eminem stood out for everyone as a white rapper. Yeah, I mean, even to go back about, I can't believe we still have the Vanilla Ice on the screen right here. Ty Dolla $ign is dope too. I definitely like Vultures. I'm glad you brought that up with Ty Dolla $ign. Thank you for reminding me. I actually liked Vultures better than Bully. But wasn't it also that Ty Dolla $ign and Kanye had got into it about something too? Thank you for the likes coming in. Appreciate you, fam. Yeah, didn't they
You walk in the streets, you walk into a party,
Suge Knight.
standing in there is Puffy, Dre, Snoop. What do you say?
First of all, I don't go to those type of parties. I'm straight.
Yo, here's Suge Knight talking about Diddy. I mean, I didn't mean to pull this up, but I was just like, damn, Suge Knight talking about how he didn't go to the Diddy parties, and this was like back in like the 90s or something. It's like, yo, man. See, it's kind of funny how if we read between the lines and just look at what people are saying, how a lot of this stuff, they were already giving you the warnings back then. But we didn't have we didn't really have the internet back then. So it wasn't like everybody could just start posting about something. It was like either you read it in a magazine or maybe somebody might have talked about it on TV for a minute, unless it got really pushed. But you didn't hear it.
You walk in the streets, you walk into a party.
Eminem is probably the best white rapper of all time. I could agree with that. I could agree with that possibly. I mean, the only white rappers that could come close to Eminem, I mean, it's funny, we have Vanilla Ice up here, but if you're talking about like real lyrical miracle skills, MC Search comes close. There's like probably a few others that we can't remember their names really. I mean, yeah, Evidence could be up there. Like if you were going to do like top 5 white rappers, Milkbone. A lot of people forget about Milkbone. There's another white rapper too, man. There's another one I'm forgetting. Let me look up. Best white rappers of all time. Let's see what Google says. Let's pull that up on the screen. Because it's funny you say that. I was actually thinking about doing a list, but not including Eminem. Just like, who are the best rappers? But yeah, you're right. According to Google, Eminem is considered one of the best white rappers, or the best white rappers. You have the Beastie Boys on that list. A lot of people I've heard say Mac Miller in Power. LP, A$AP Rock. See, I don't know if I don't even agree with what Google's saying. Like, I don't even agree with this. Like they're putting like Macklemore up in here. Like, get out of here, dude. Like, I think Action Bronson could be up on that list. R.A. the Rugged Man, come on. Post Malone. Yeah, Bubba Sparks. Yeah, they forget Bubba Sparks. Thank you. Bubba Sparks was pretty dope. I like Action Bronson. God, this is such a trash list, man. Oh, this is a trash list. And this is from the Needle Drop from homeboy. What's his name? Anthony Fantano. I would think that he would put up a better list than this. MJ. I don't know about MGK. I think MGK got songs. It's funny that this Paul Wall, and I still have not even seen, like one of y'all mentioned Bubba Sparks. There's no evidence from Dilated Peoples. Okay, so they said Slim Jesus. We're out of here. We're out of here. This is a trash list. That's a trash list. I don't know when that list was done. I mean, MC Search. Come on, man. Third base. Like that. MC Search is like, not only is MC Search one of the best white rappers of all time, but let's not forget, MC Search is like one of the ones who put MF Doom on. Or put, like, maybe not put MF Doom on, because, like, wasn't MF Doom, he was already doing KMD and all them, but still, it's funny, Dark Knight, you said Ill Bill. One of the dudes from Ill Bill, isn't his name Apathy, or one of their names is Apathy? Yeah, I think he's on here. He's on TikTok. I'll be seeing him on TikTok. Because evidence look Mexican. Yeah, he do. Or he's like Italian or something. Oh, wow. The commenter says Miller over M. Hey, you're not the first person I've kind of heard say that. MC Search out Nas on too. Yeah, MC Search was like one of the ones who helped Illmatic get done. He's the one that put like Large Professor and all them on the album as a beat for the beats. But yeah, but MC Search also got tracks with Doom. Like before Doom became Doom. Like when he was still, you know, rapping with the I think the name of the song is The Gas Face. You get the gas face. You know what I'm saying? All right, shout out Nikki. Have a good night, man. Thank you for the follow too. I appreciate you. I know we've been rocking for a minute on this stream, man. I went a little longer than I usually go. I usually only go for like an hour and a half or something, but we've been going for almost 3 hours. But thank you, man. You guys got me talking about hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm talking about hip hop, you guys got me going. You know what I'm saying? But I'll probably go a little bit longer before we wrap up this discussion. Yeah, Chef Beats Vegas says Search is a legend. Definitely. Search is definitely a legend. Remember when they had the White Rapper show on VH1? Did y'all ever watch that? Remember that White Rapper show? I used to watch that show. That was a funny ass show. They need to bring back that show or shows like that. Yeah, that were like good shows, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, some of those rap shows are just dumb and dramatic, but yeah, the White Rapper show was an interesting concept. So I know that we're not the first ones who have thought of this topic, like who are the best white rappers of all time. But no, you guys brought up some. You know who else you guys forgot to mention? I don't know. Somebody might think that this is a dope rapper, but Vinny Paz from Jedi Mind Tricks. Vinny Paz is pretty dope. Like people forget about him. You know, even though I know some of his rhymes kind of sound the same, it's kind of like a certain taste. But I really liked Vinny Paz too from Jedi Mind Tricks. Like, yeah, Cage and A$AP Rock. They said A$AP Rock on this list. They didn't say Cage though. And you're right, man. Cage is pretty underrated too. Although I will say this, speaking of Cage, I think Eminem kind of destroyed Cage. Because doesn't Eminem throw a jab at Cage? Like they had a beef at one point, and he threw a jab at Cage on Slim Shady. And I think that's just what ruined Cage. Where he I thought that was one of the funniest raps. Like that bar or those bars right there was what made me an Eminem fan. Was when I heard the Slim Shady, and I think it was what track was it? I think it was Role Model. Yeah, one of my favorite Eminem songs. This is why I say, man, Slim Shady is my favorite Eminem album. And he goes, I bought Cage's tape, opened it. He said, I bought Cage's tape, opened it, and dubbed over it. I was like, what? That was one of the hardest bars that I ever heard. Like, yo, man, I bought your tape, and then I dubbed over it. I bought Cage's tape, opened it, and dubbed over it. That's one of the dopest lines right there. Because I remember that, man, back in the days, we used to get cassette tapes. And if you ran out of tapes and you wanted to record something or you wanted to, like, rap your own stuff, you could put that little piece of tape, scotch tape, over the cassette tape. And then you pop it in the cassette player. And then you could record over the tape. So, like, people would have tapes that they would buy and they would start recording over those tapes. And that would be considered like disrespect, man, if you took someone's tape and you recorded over it. So the fact that Eminem said that in one of the lines about Cage, I was like, yo, man, that was a dope bar. That was a dope bar. And the fact that he did that on an Interscope Records Dr. Dre collabo album, it's kind of a big deal, man. Kind of a big deal. It's like Kendrick dissing you at the Super Bowl. Eminem was a clone of Cage, Eric says. And another dude, yeah, they beefed over copying each other's overflows. Yeah, I mean, I've heard people say that. That's why they had beef, right? Wasn't that why Cage and Eminem were like beefing at one point? I've heard more so Chino, though, over Cage. You said I'm wrong. Who's the other dude he beefing with? I'm not sure. Karma, shout out Karma. I got a homie named Karma. Yeah, he beefed with Everlast, but he was beefing with Cage too. Go back and listen to Role Model. That was one of my favorite bars, man. Where he says straight up on the bar, I bought Cage's tape, opened it, and dubbed over it. But yeah, he was beefing with Everlast too. I think that's one of Eminem's best diss songs that gets overlooked is the one he did for Everlast. The diss song he did against Everlast where like he was making fun of him singing, and he said straight up, he's like, yo, you sing because you can't rap. So he said, so you turned into like a country music star. Like you used to rap. And he said, and now because nobody cares about you being a rapper, like he put it in his rap song, but the way he explained it was like, nobody cares about you being a rapper, so now you're a country singer. I was like, yo, man, that whole diss that he did to Everlast was just evil. Everlast had a couple of responses that were okay, but it just wasn't up to par with Eminem. And thank you for reminding me. That's where I probably would have to give Eminem credit. I probably will give Eminem credit with the fact that he's done pretty well in battles. Just like Kendrick. Like Kendrick has and that's what also kind of makes you a real MC. A real rapper is there's got to be a time where it's not just about the money. And I think Kendrick, to go back on that real quick, I think that's what Kendrick kind of did with the battle with Drake. Was that, like he said in one of the rhymes, I'm with the culture's feeling. Like sometimes it's not just about the money. M be battling pop females. Well, let me ask you all this. Who won the battle between him and MGK? Did Machine Gun Kelly win that battle? Or did Eminem win that battle? Who do y'all think won that battle? Because some people I've heard, they said that they think MGK won that battle. But then you're right. But then Eminem came back with Kill Shot. And that was like, ooh. Did anyone care though? They called it the mayonnaise wars. I mean, speaking of white on white crime, white on white rhyme. That was definitely a white on white rhyme. And then Concrete Cortez says Mariah Carey served Eminem. That's true too. A lot of people say that, man. And Mariah Carey definitely did serve Eminem, especially where she made that video where she was making fun of Eminem and basically calling him Stan. Why are you so obsessed with me? Yeah, was that what it was? Yeah, laughing my ass off. Exactly, the Mayo Wars. That was called the Mayo Wars back then. Eminem all the way. You said you like MGK, but MGK was more like your My Idol diss. Yeah, I get you on that. MGK shouted us out. I got a shout out from MGK shouting out beatGrade. Go check that on the channel. It's on my YouTube. But yeah. Yeah. Eminem Smack You diss Suge. Yeah. I've listened to all Eminem disses, man. I probably listened to pretty much all Eminem songs. Like I said, like after Eminem Show, that was the last full album that I listened to, like from beginning to end. Yeah, Eric said, yeah, we covered RA. But although I didn't really agree with RA's takes on Eminem, though. And I remember there was a point, because some of my people have worked with RA. I remember there was a point where RA, and we talked about him earlier, there was a part where he was like trying to beef with Eminem. And I remember he was doing YouTube videos talking about like how Eminem is trash or, just saying some stuff, some craziness. This was a while ago. So I don't know if RA still feels that way. But I remember he was talking about him, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, and I think he was saying it in a way because he was like trying to get a response from Eminem. But Eminem never responded. Kind of almost like how Lupe Fiasco was talking about Kendrick. Kendrick might respond in a verse, though, but I don't think he's going to respond in a battle. You said, I'm not talking about the Akon Smack That. I'm talking about the leaked song. Yeah. The one about Suge. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I heard that. Too Cool for School. Yep. Yeah, this is when Eminem was like still kind of shady. Marshall Mathers. Yeah, I remember that. Apathy be on TikTok all damn day. Yeah, I seen him. Yeah, he shouts me out. Yeah, Apathy be DJing, right? Yeah, man, I'll be up in these ciphers too, yo. That's what I'm saying. That's why they probably sent you guys to my feed. Thank you for tuning in again, Concrete Quarters. I saw some of y'all say Yikes Uno too. That's one of my peoples too. Yeah, man, there's a lot of hip hop heads on TikTok right now. I try to tell some of my homies this too because I got some of my homies that are straight hip hop, straight Doom fans, straight this too. And I'm like, yo, man, y'all got to be on TikTok. And they be like, oh, man, nah, that's for kids. That's like kid stuff. I'm like, man, you don't know, man. There's some OGs on TikTok too, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, imagine if Doom was around and if he had a TikTok, like how big that would be. Like, imagine Doom doing live streams or doing streams. Like, that would be crazy, right? I'm sure that dude would be breaking TikTok if he was doing streams on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? If he was real, like TikTok is like the perfect place for that engagement. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Eric. Thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, talking hip hop lyrics, all that. Well, there's a good conversation of Torre, which I was gonna play in just a second, cause yeah, like I said, man, I've been going for like a few hours already. But thank you if you're just tuning in. You said everyone knew if Eminem gets you mentioned, it's a big buzz. I was upset at Necro. That's an MC we forgot. Necro for how he treats M. Oh, Concrete says you think Doom was that? I don't know if I can say that word on the talk. How so? Explain how so. You're the first person I've heard come with that. I don't know if I'll say a conspiracy theory, but you're the first that I've heard say that. I'm glad you brought up Necro, though. I've seen Necro a couple times. What about Sage Francis? Y'all remember him? Sage Francis and Strange Music. I know. Haven't heard none of y'all say Tech 9. But I know Tech 9 might be a little different from those. Isn't that how Jelly Roll came out too? Jelly Roll was down with Tech 9. Oh, that sucks. Concrete Quarters. Yeah, man. I've heard stories about stuff like that happening to people. I'll have to look that up. That's the first time I heard that, man. I never really looked too much into the story, though. I always just thought it was a little sad, of course. But I never really looked into the story. Eric says you have the same birthday as Doom. Next Monday. Remember Sean Strain. Okay. Happy birthday coming up, man. Happy birthday. A lot of people's birthdays. Hey, my birthday's in July too, so shout us out. Yeah, man. Oh, Eminem and Tech 9 had a battle. Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't know that they had a beef. You mean he out-rapped him on the song, but they weren't beefing, right? Because Tech 9 seems like no beef, exactly. Yeah, they just on the track, exactly. Yeah, because Tech 9 is one of them cool rappers. He's like one of them rappers that like doesn't beef with anybody. Yeah, it was a collab, exactly. I have to go back and listen to that, but that's pretty dope that Tech 9 got Eminem on a song. I could definitely hear them on a song together. Yeah, Tech 9 is like one of those rappers who doesn't beef with anybody. I got approached by Strange Famous once to work with them. I should have followed up with it, but like to do some media, to do some production with them. But yeah, I seen his office though. Tech Nine's office up there in Kansas. Like, that fool got a dope office, man. That dude like runs Kansas. Like, he runs like Tech Nine is probably like one of the most underrated rappers that's like making serious money. Like, he's making serious money, and it's like all like really low key. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that know about it, but like, yo, like Tech Nine is like evidence that, or he's evidence that you don't really need to be famous, like super famous, to be successful. If you just figure out how to build your core audience, which is what I'm doing here. So shout out to y'all for joining. That's what I'm doing here. That's why I do these streams. It's almost like doing these streams is like the new form of hip hop, I feel. It's like going out there and performing, like back in the days when you had to go out and you had to perform and like build your fan base. That's what kind of like streaming is now. It's like the new hip hop in a way, like the new rap. And I feel like he's a perfect example that you don't always have to have like the whole machine behind you, backing you. If you just get like a core base of people that all agree with what you're doing and what you're talking about, you can all build and grow together. You feel what I'm saying? And you can be successful at it. And he's definitely evidence of that. Austin Powers says, Cool Mo D, A Tribe Called Quest, brought in more suburb white boys than Vanilla Ice ever did. I don't know if I agree with that. I think Vanilla Ice definitely reached a part of America and possibly a part of the world that might not have listened to rap otherwise. But Tribe Called Quest is definitely one of my favorite groups. Midnight Marauders needs to be on my wall too. And the Low End Theory. The Low End Theory could be on there too. Tech Nine's boy Kalinko was pretty dope on there. You said, I know I spelled his name wrong, but he did work on there. Okay, I'll have to check it out. Concrete Quarter says, you ever did work with Stone's Throw? Seems like that label fell off. Yeah, they just changed, man. They're not really hip hop anymore. Yeah, I did work with Stone's Throw. I tried to get signed to Stone's Throw because, I rap and produce too. Peanut Butter Wolf, I know personally, man. I actually got interviews with Peanut Butter Wolf. For those of you that don't know, he's the owner and founder of Stone's Throw. And shout out to Cool for School for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I tried to I had a group too, man. We were pretty big back in the days. Look up LA's Finest if you guys ever get a chance. And the rap name I go by is David Mnemonic. David and then Mnemonic spelled M-N-E, M as in Mary, M-N-E-M-O-N-I-C. Kind of like Mnemonic Radio was a classic I put out. Got a lot of dope MCs on there. And yeah, man, I was building some buzz in LA at the time. And still kind of out there. Like, people know who I am in the city. But yeah, man, I tried to get a deal with Stone's Throw, but I guess Wolf wasn't feeling it like that. I definitely rocked parties with them, though, and definitely did shows with them and gave Peanut Butter Wolf my stuff. But I think you're right. I think at the time that I was kind of like really getting out there and met Wolf and was working with him, and Madlib too. Madlib actually gave props to me on one of my stuff, on some of my music. That was like one of the biggest, that made me feel like I had made it as a rapper and a producer, was when Madlib came up to me once and he's like, yo, man, I heard your stuff. He's like, your music's dope, man. Your music's dope. I was like, damn. I was like, coming from Madlib, that was like, yo, man. I said, that means a lot, especially coming from you. But Madlib, I think he wasn't really messing with Stone's Throw anymore at the time. And then you're right. I think Stone's Throw's still around. Don't get me wrong. They're still around. They just went in a different direction, like a lot of labels do. Probably because they feel like there's no money in hip hop anymore. They feel like they're like on some like disco hipster stuff. Yeah, Concrete Quarter says gonna go follow and check your stuff. Yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I got another channel where I do just my raps. Like, here is more, beatGrade is more like analytics, takes on hip hop, like what we're doing here, discussing hip hop, rap culture, which is dope. But then I also have Mnemonic, David Mnemonic, like the movie Johnny Mnemonic. that Keanu Reeves did, but I go by David Mnemonic because other people were trying to steal my name too. Mnemonic Radio. I say that's my classic. That's the album that everybody that knows me says that's my classic. And one of my songs, Freedom, it's interesting too. I wrote that song like 20 years ago, over 20 or about, yeah, somewhere around there. And that song is actually more popular today on Spotify than it is when I wrote the song. And check this out. The other part too is that when I wrote the song in the studio and rapped it and made the beat, Spotify wasn't even around yet. So that's how crazy it is to me that like when I did the song, Spotify wasn't even around yet. And now the song with no major promotion, I don't have any major promotion on it. It hasn't been signed to a major. Never really got a lot of radio play. Don't even have a video to the song. It's already got like nearly 30,000 or over 30,000 streams on Spotify with no major promotion. So I was like, man, I really do feel like I was ahead of the time when I did that song, when I wrote that song. You should react live to the Speedum Tech in 9M song. All right, yeah, I could do that. Well, like I said, I mean, if I play music though, some people were asking for requests. Sometimes it gets the stream flagged because of the music. You know how like Universal and all these people, they're so picky on you playing music on streams now. To tell you the truth, I was about to jump up out of here, but you guys had me going in the comments. I mean, I know for some of us, it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning right now, right? On a Tuesday, on a Wednesday morning. But yeah, shout out, man. I definitely appreciate y'all tuning in right now. Yo, for real, if you know anyone messing with Supreme, tell them check my my Depop. Isn't Depop like a clothing site? I'll check it out though. Tony says it fell off. Definitely fell off. Madlib house burned down. Yeah, I know. I heard about that. Crazy. I know. I heard about that with Madlib. I think he raised some money though. I mean, Madlib rolls with Dave Chappelle, so I'm sure he'll figure something out. The only thing I think that also sucks for not only your house getting burnt down, but also like he said he had a bunch of vinyl in there. Imagine all that vinyl that he lost, man. That's crazy. Thank you for the coins, Too Cool for School. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Okay, let's see what the homeboy says right here. Prince D. Allen says, if you say hip-hop fell off, then you got to be a Drake fan. Rap didn't fall off, and I'm a Drake fan, too. Eric says, am I from NY, brother? Nah, but I've lived in NY for a minute. I used to live in, I used to stay out there, like, in Queens, and I stayed in Jersey for a minute. But I've also, like, been to the city, though, too. Too Cool for School says you'll drop a GIF if anyone else wants to request. Have them drop some GIFs too. Hey, GIFs are always good, man. Lost mad records though. Yeah, I heard he lost a lot of records, man. Thank you for the popcorn though. Exactly, or the mind blown. Too Cool for School. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the support. That always helps get us out here. Let's see if we can get the stream to 6,000 likes or 6,000 likes. I think we're at about 5.9K. Let's see if we can get it to 6,000 because that'll help the algorithm. So when we do the next one, we can even get even way more people up in here. But thank you, yeah, man, for coming in. Let's see if we can get it to 6,000. Yeah, what did the homie say? He said, if you in LA, hit me up hitting the Navy Blues show on the 25th. Okay. What's the Navy Blues show? It sounds familiar. Thank you, fam, for getting the likes to 6,000. Appreciate you, PWF. I'm gonna put. I have it right here in my archive. Too Cool for School. I'm gonna play the Tech M song, but I'm also streaming on YouTube. So YouTube sometimes will. You already know how YouTube is. If you play, especially if you play Eminem. Come on. But let me see. I could probably play a little snippet of it. I don't know if I could play the whole thing. But thank you for the likes coming in, though. Again, man, I appreciate y'all. I'll put it up just for my records, though, to make sure I have it. Because, like I said, I mean, I know all of these songs, but it's always good to, like, go back and and go through the archives again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always good to go through the archives. Seven Brick says hip hop is alive and well. I can see that. Who's the Navy Blue, by the way? People think you only grew up in the SoundCloud era, but you grew up in the Cool G Rap, Sugar Free, and C Murder. Yeah, man. I mean, the SoundCloud era was a different time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was like, you're right, man. That was like a new era that it came out. I think I got it right here. Let me just let this ad. Hopefully it doesn't. Let me just stop the ad. I can't play the whole song, but I can play a little clip. But I'll have it in my archives for you. Too cool for school. Yeah, you said you're 39 and you've been listening to rap since you were 9. Yeah, man. I mean, you pretty much grew up in hip hop. Like, see me? I grew up before hip hop became mainstream. Like, I go way back. Like, I remember when I was listening to rap music, I used to stay up Thursday nights. I remember this very well. Used to stay up Thursday nights waiting for Yo MTV Raps to come on because MTV would never play hip hop. Or I would watch Pump It Up with D Barnes. Shout out D Barnes. I finally got an interview with her. You're gonna take advice from someone who slapped D Barnes? Yeah, I got an interview with that D Barnes. Yeah. No, it's not. Too Cool for School says they won't take it down. No, it's not that they won't take it down. Trust me, because we play music all the time on these streams. They just will demonetize. They'll demonetize the playback, which sucks. So it's like now we can't let people watch the stream afterwards because I'll have the playback on YouTube, especially for some of the stuff that you guys missed. Trust me, I've been doing YouTube for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me show you guys. Yeah, trust me, man. I've been doing YouTube for a very long time. So it's like, just to show you, that's my plaque. Yeah, beatGrade. Just like you see right here in the top right here where it says beatGrade. So, yeah, I'm very aware. I have this. You can't see it on the wall over here. I have my plaque hanging on the wall over there. But it's like I've been doing YouTube for a very long time, so I know exactly how YouTube works. Yeah, they gave me my plaque, which is good, man, for speaking on the journalism. I think I would have plaques on other sites too, but sometimes they don't like what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't like how we cover things, because like I was getting big on Instagram too, and then Instagram deleted our profile, so I don't really mess with Instagram anymore. Besides, I don't think that Instagram's really about hip hop anymore. Like I'd say TikTok is more hip hop. Yeah, thank you all, man. Appreciate you, Eric. Thank you, Too Cool for School. Here, but I'll play a little sample just so we can hear for reference. Tay Rock, Daylight, Clips, Hitman, Surf, Chess, etc. Hip hop. Okay. The Clips definitely doing their thing. Hit Boy or Hitman? Yeah, I got it right here. I'll save it on my list. Let me play a little bit of Eminem's part. It definitely sounds like a beat that Eminem could be on, though. Or this is Eminem's thing. 11 years ago, 10 years ago. So, yeah, it's a little... I got it on my list, though. Like, I go back and I research these songs that you guys recommend to me. So I definitely thank you for that. Pin up inside, I win up inside, a Bennigan's down with a cigarette lighter. Figured I try to set a big in the fire that'll trigger the sprinkler system and not escape with the getaway driver screwed up my limo. Yeah. That's the Eminem I know. That's the Eminem. Like, I like it when Eminem gets in his bag like that. And you could tell, like, Eminem, I think, has reached a point now where he only raps on songs that, yeah, I feel you. Good call. Too Cool for School. Eminem only raps on songs that I think he's really feeling. Like, he's such a big artist now where I don't even think I think he said that too. Like, he doesn't even charge for verses. He'll just rap on the song if he likes it. You said Prince D. Allen says these platforms will definitely cut you short depending on what you look like. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I'll keep it going for a little bit longer. Yeah, you were right, though. Eminem's definitely spitting on that. Logic, for whatever reason, is so hated, and I love Logic. Speaking of which, well, you probably would agree with what Lupe Fiasco said. Lupe Fiasco said that he thinks Logic is a better lyricist than Kendrick Lamar. What are your thoughts on that? Him is not from Earth, bro. He way too good. He definitely on some shit, man. Too Cool for School says you love discussing lyrics and songs with people. I'm really passionate about that. Likewise, man. That's why we do this, man. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. You're in the right place. I usually go on a little bit earlier. Today we started a little bit later, but I usually jump on here. I'll say about 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'm usually on here about 9 Eastern. Check Navy Blue, Noblesse with Earl and AC. I definitely will. I mean, I love Earl and AC, so, or ALC, you said, right? Yeah, Alchemist. Z.E. Spinoza says hip-hop fell off for sure. Concrete Quarter says Logic is just corny. Logic definitely went down a corny route. I think when Logic first came out, he was pretty dope. But then I don't know what happened to Logic, man. It seemed like after a minute, he just kind of went through a different thing. Prince D. Allen says Lupe tripping. He just want the clout from K. Dot would wash him and like Lupe. Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, man, thank you for this recommendation. I'm gonna definitely come back and really study M's verse on here because anything you play from Eminem, like Eminem is the, like we said earlier, he's one of those rappers that's like out of the stratosphere. Like he's the rapper, he's the Elvis. Just like it's funny, like Vanilla Ice just said earlier. He said he's not trying to be the Elvis of hip hop. And we didn't even finish playing that interview where he's talking about Suge. But well, I'm gonna read some of your comments while I just hear this one part. Since I'm right here, I just want to hear what the other part was that Vanilla Ice said about the time when Suge Knight came into his hotel and made him sign Ice Ice Baby.
First 5 people that came in my room, he was not there. Okay. He brought him in about 30 minutes later.
Aha.
Yeah.
And he was in tears, and he had a black eye. And you could see that he had been hit in the side of his face several times. And his face over here was swelled up like this. And his lip was like this.
Prince said, stop playing the end. The phone it started overheating.
And he was crying, and his eyes were red. And they brought him in. What the fuck are you doing here, man? What the fuck is all this? That's when I went to the balcony with Suge. Okay. And he explained to me that basically I'm joining a fraternity. And I go, what is this? I know who you are. I mean, I know all this, but what do you want from me? You want some money. Everything's money.
Yeah,
what would you want from stupid little Vanilla Ice if it wasn't for money, right? So, yeah, Ice, I got Jerry Heller. I got Eazy-E. I got all these people.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard that Suge is just like the dude that was always showing up everywhere. He showed up to Vanilla Ice. He showed up to 50 Cent. Yeah, you're right, because I remember Eminem said something about that, right? Or that was Suge trying to get in to the video shoot, and then they said that M like walked out and was like talking trash or something. Yeah, it was Eminem, right?
Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy and all these people. I can name a list of people that pay him to be in this fraternity. I'm like, man, this sounds great. I'm like, so if I sign these papers, you guys are going to give me protection in the city. Nobody's going to mess with me. And they say, yeah, you always protected, bro.
Shout out Alejandro Alberto. I don't know how to say your last name. Brubeska for the follow. Thank you.
And I go, cool, man. Sign. I didn't know I was signing away publishing. This is before all the publishing. You understand? Before I got all the publishing and learned about Michael Jackson, before all that. So you have to backtrack. This is how I learned about it. And I'm like, what did I sign? What was it? Tommy was like, you did good. You're still alive. That's all you need to worry about. You made the right decision. And I still am alive, and I must have made the right decision. Right. You got to understand, for me, this is intense for the people listening.
Okay.
And watching the story of Vanilla Ice and Suge Knight and Death Row Records. It's very fascinating.
Well, I mean, they locked Suge up. Now, I mean, Suge can't do anything, right? I mean, Suge ain't never getting out. So allegedly, we'll see. We'll see if he gets the pardon one day or gets out. But Suge, they destroyed Suge, man. I mean, I think he's more than just washed. They took him off the street. Yeah, I know exactly who they are. The Booyah Tribe, for sure. Yeah, I mess with Booyah Tribe.
All the people, they must be like, God, the shit he had to go through, and the money they must have stolen from him, and all this shit, right? So I never cared about the money. Never, ever did. Never do. Don't now. You ain't born with it. You ain't gonna die with it. This is all a reward from what I really.
It's so interesting how the way Vanilla Ice talks now is so different from the way he talked, obviously, when he was like famous. Like he just talks like a normal white guy now. Whereas before he was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Go ninja, go. All right, posse, let's kick it. Let's get out of here. Yo. I mean, I get it. It was the 90s, or 80s, late 80s.
Really cared about was poetry.
I'll
And
look
I
it
just
up.
all this stemmed from me being a little
me
kid
see
in
if
the
I can
7th
look it
grade
up.
writing poetry, love notes to these girls. And I never told anybody because that's how I got the girls.
was
And I
a
didn't
good
want to give
time.
my secret away for the next guys to get my girls. How do you get all these chicks? I said, I
Look
write
it
these
up.
sweet little love poems, man, and they
You
love
probably
it.
know like Knowledge and all
Okay,
them
so you
dudes
ended
too.
up
I
Came
know
from
them
that.
dudes.
This is all poetry, man, and
Right.
entertainment. That's it.
So you ended up
I was
signing.
never-
Yeah, you guys saw the plaque right there. You guys got to check my YouTube channel. A lot of the rappers that you're mentioning, I have what's it called? Like interviews of, you know what I'm saying? Or people that I've covered. Like Alchemist, I got a little interview with him. Earl Sweatshirt, I got a little interview with him. Although the Earl Sweatshirt interview is kind of hard to hear. It wasn't the greatest because it was loud. We were doing the interview backstage. The interviewer, Fat Lip from the Far Side, I was trying to tell him like, "Hey man, we need to do the interview in the back so people can hear." He was like, "No, let's do it right here," and then people couldn't hear the interview at all. So, but like I think if you could hear what Earl Sweatshirt was saying, I think that interview would have got 1 million views. It got like 100,000, which isn't bad on YouTube, but I think it would have got like 1 million views if they had listened to me and we did that interview somewhere else. But you know, I was young then. I was just getting started. I didn't know what I know now. Like now, what I know now, I'd be like, nah, we are not doing that interview here with Earl Sweatshirt, because that's another thing. Earl Sweatshirt don't really do interviews like that. So it's just like Suge was a problem. He was as big as Diddy. Yep, just ain't none of the Diddy shit exactly, which he talked trash about. And Suge was also a big dude. I mean, wasn't he the bodyguard for Bobby Brown, too? He was the bodyguard. And not only was a bodyguard, but he was also a football player, too. He played for the Rams. People forget that Suge, I think he played for the Rams for a minute. So, yeah, dude played for the Rams, became a bodyguard, and just worked his way up. They kind of said that in Straight Outta Compton, the movie, where they're like, oh, homeboy was a bodyguard, now he want to be an executive. You said you were fucking with Ninja Turtles back in the day, for sure. Man, everybody was. People still mess with Ninja Turtles. Knowledge is dope. Yeah, man, I wish I would have spent more time chilling with Knowledge, because there was a time when I was backstage with Earl and Knowledge was there too, but I didn't really know who Knowledge was at the time. But that's happened with me with Anderson .Paak too. That's kind of why I do this. I don't really take things for granted no more, because I've seen people like Anderson .Paak become famous. I've seen Tyler the Creator become famous. I've seen Post Malone become famous. So I don't really take this for granted anymore. You know, when someone says they're a rapper or they're doing something. But I got these rappers pulled up, man. I'm gonna check these dudes out. Let me ask you guys this real quick, man, because yeah, like I said, man, y'all been great, man. I was about to get up out of here, but like I said, I usually go live every weekday, at least Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. We gonna get these going. Where are you guys all calling in from? Tell me real quick the states or cities that you guys are in, so I could know what the time zone is for most of the people that are here, so it gives us a better idea of when to go on. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, Texas. Word up to Texas, man. I like Texas. I've been to Austin a few times. Austin's one of my favorite places in Texas. Austin got a good hip hop scene too, man. I mean, y'all just got a good music scene out there, period. But Austin got a good like hip hop scene as well, man. I mean, come on. That's where y'all do South by Southwest, right? One says all culture, art, wait, if I can read that, because we're created, all aesthetic, future culture will be based around tech. Well, that's really where it's going. Lompoc, California. Yeah, I know Lompoc, California. Like I said, man, I mean, yeah, I'm all around. Yeah, Austin is like more hippie music area. Yeah, I get that. I feel like it's definitely a hippie rock town, but there was a couple little hip hop things going on over there. Well, I guess you got to go for South by Southwest. Like, I've been to Austin 2 times. I was in Austin just for some. It was actually interesting. It was for like an event, and then I went out there for South by Southwest. And when I went out there for South by Southwest, that was dope. Obviously, like there was hip hop everywhere, yo. Like, and this is also before a lot of rappers got famous too that were there. Like J-Pop, like some of them I kind of regret because like JPEG Mafia was there performing at one place, and I didn't really know who JPEG Mafia was at the time. I remember Action Bronson was rocking a dope show out there, and it was just dope, man. It was like you could just walk down the street, and it was like a different concert on every street. Like that. That was pretty dope, man. I gotta say, South by Southwest is dope, and it's like you don't even really need to have the badge. You could just be there, be at the right place at the right time, and just get into stuff. Yay area, shout out Yay, shout out the Bay. Okay, cool. So you on West Coast time? You said you went to Austin, but wasn't feeling the vibes there. Not my thing. Fort Worth, Dallas goes hard also. Okay. Houston, dope, man. Houston's always had a dope rap scene too. I wonder what's the scene like in Houston right now? Because I've been to Houston before, but it was a long time ago. But it's like, I wonder what Houston is like. You know what I mean? Like, what Houston is like right now, because I hear, like, I know back in the days, like, it was rough out there, but I heard it's been changing. Like, it's been getting better. It's been getting nicer. Like, I mean, that's probably like everywhere. Everywhere's starting to get gentrified. But I got your boy too right here, man. I'm gonna pick up a lot of these rappers that you guys are mentioning. Yeah. Oh, Screw? Yeah. From Texas also. We all Texans. Yeah, man. Texas got a lot of heads. I mean, I got homies right now that are in Texas. I got a couple homies in San Antonio. Well, I think one of my homies is from Austin, but he moved to San Antonio. You know what I'm saying? But I got a homie from Austin who moved to San Antonio. Yeah. Do I know about Big Tuck? I don't know about Big Tuck, but I'll check it out. Drink in My Cup. I know I heard that song. Oh yeah, Drink in My Cup. Yeah. That's a classic. Drink in My Cup. That's okay, Prince D. Allen, if you're from the West Coast and you still think Mos Def is a top 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, Black on Both Sides is a classic album, yo. Again, I'm talking about like some of the greatest rap albums of all time. I would definitely put Black on Both Sides by Mos Def up there as one of the greatest rap albums of all time. And I think Rolling Stone said this too. But I'd also put Talib Kweli, Reflection Eternal, his first one. And I would also put Black Star. But I like Black on Both Sides a little bit more than Kweli's solo album, like as far as solo goes. But Black Star by Mos Def and Kweli, or he goes by Yasin Bey now. Classic album. Okay, so that's cool. So you guys aren't too much in a different. We're all pretty much in the same vicinity. You know what I'm saying? You said, hey, let's hear your opinion on best instrumental of all time. And you can't say Shook Ones. Good point, man. I mean, Shook Ones, first of all, I mean, you're talking about part 2, right? Shook Ones part 2 is just a dope song. I mean, you don't even have to talk about the instrumental. Even the way Mobb Deep came on that, Prodigy and all that. Like, that's one of the greatest hip-hop verses and hip-hop songs of all time. Greatest instrumentals, I'd have to go just off the top of my head. It would have to be at least from one of my favorite producers of all time. And my top 5 producers, I mean, I could say like my top 5 producers is a little easier to say than my top 5 rappers. And my top 5 producers would definitely be Dilla is up in that list. And Premier. DJ Premier, and I'll probably say like Pete Rock. Yeah, Pete Rock. And there's a couple others up there, but like Pete Rock, like some of y'all said, Pete Rock and CL Smooth, DJ Premier, Dilla. You could name any beats by any of those producers that are your favorites, and I'll probably say yeah, that's one of my favorites. I'll probably say yeah. Dilla, Stakes is High is definitely one of my favorite songs and instrumentals of all time. DJ Premier with Nas is Like, I think is one of my favorite beats and rap songs of all time. But still, like, if you just take off the vocals, Mr. Bricken says DJ Pooh. Yeah, we got DJ Pooh on our list too. He's a very underrated producer. But like, and it's funny too, because speaking of Lupe, he had said something like that too about, oh, if you take off the lyrics or take off the beats of Nas, Nas isn't really a lyricist, which is trash. That's a trash take, because I think Nas is a dope rapper, even a cappella. But yeah, speaking of Nas Illmatic, New York State of Mind, which is DJ Premier, is a classic. Pete Rock, The World Is Yours, is a classic beat, classic verse. A lot of beats on Mobb Deep, Infamous, are classic beats. But yeah, DJ Premier, Nas is Like. Yeah, man. There's a lot. But like, yeah, Dilla got a lot of them. I mean, Dilla that did stuff for Tribe Called Quest. A lot of the beats that Dilla was doing for Tribe. Concrete Cortez says, what did Pooh produce? I got a top 10 of Pooh on my YouTube channel. A lot of those beats, but I think he did like The Wash. He did one of his biggest beats that I think he did a couple other beats. I'd have to look up the list. But he did New York, Big City of Dreams with Dog Pound and Snoop with Corrupt when they was going after New York. New York, Big City of Dreams, and everything may not always be what it seems. Yeah, that was DJ Pooh. That's kind of a classic. He did a few others too, like The Wash with Dr. Dre. I think Pooh did a lot of beats that Dr. Dre did. And speaking of which, like, if you check out, all you gotta do is look up beatGrade, what you see right here in the top, my profile name, beatGrade. If you look up Dr. Dre, and I want to put this out here because I see a lot of people in the comment section about the Dr. Dre top 10 beats that we did, and they say, like, oh, what about this song? What about that song? What about this beat? What about that beat? And it's like, man, people got to go back and read the credits, man. Like, people forget Dr. Dre gets a lot of credit for beats that he didn't do. He ghost produced, or had a lot of ghost producers, I should say, make beats for him. He had a lot of ghost producers make beats for him. So it's like people forget about Mailman. Like, speaking of Eminem, people forget Mailman did a lot of beats on Marshall Mathers. Like, the next episode, I think if you go to my Dr. Dre top 10 beats, you can look it up. It's the most famous. It's like one of the videos that helped build my YouTube channel, other than the KRS One interview. The Dr. Dre top 10 beats, just look that up on YouTube. I'm pretty sure our video is going to be the first one that comes up. It's got nearly like 5 million hits on it. Almost 5 million. All right. Crazy top 10 list, obviously. And no, California Love is not on that. So it gets a lot of people riled up. But I think two of the comments I see the most that people complain about on that video is next episode not being on the list. And there's another one. I forgot. But I know the next episode is like the top beat that everybody says, why is that not on the Dr. Dre top 10 list? I'm going to tell you why. Because next episode was not produced by Dr. Dre. The next episode was produced by Mailman. Melman. Who also did a lot of beats on the first Slim Shady album, LP, and the Marshall Mathers. I'm back. Do 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 do. Ba-do, ba-do, That's Mailman too. Everybody thinks that's Dre. And if you really study Mailman's, Mel did, OFC did. Okay. Yeah, I've heard other people say that too. They think Quick is better than Dre. Yeah, man. Like if you listen to Mailman's beats too, if you go back and you study Mailman's beats, it starts to make sense. Like a lot of his beats, you could tell like the drum patterns, the drum sounds are all like somewhat similar. Like Slim Shady. Yes, I'm the real Slim Shady. Yes, I'm the real Shady. None of you other imitators and no imitators. So I'm the real Shady. You know the song. That song, that beat, if you go and you listen to that drum beat, like just take out Eminem's verse, take out the melody, take out the take all that out, right? The keys, all that stuff, the strings, and just listen to the drum programming and the beats, like as far as the kick, the snare, the hi-hat, because, I'm a producer, so we can talk a little beats. Listen to the kick, the snare, and the hi-hat. And you'll see that a lot of his beats have, I wouldn't say the same, but they definitely have the similar drum patterns, snares, kicks, and hi-hats. And then when you hear that, you can tell it's not Dre. And to go back to what someone said, Daz being better than Dre, well, isn't that what Daz is doing now on Vlad TV? There you go. Or is Explosive? Yeah, that's what I said. Explosive. Yeah, Explosive was Mailman. That's like the one that everybody always talks about is Explosive. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. It's the motherfucking D-R-E. That's Mailman. But Dre took credit for that. Yo, y'all can search this on Google. It says Mailman produced Explosive. But that's like one of the number one comments. I think I got probably over 1,000, yo. Over 1,000. Because I told you the video got like over 5 million or about 5 million. So Explosive got like over probably thousands of comments saying, why is Explosive not on this list? And sometimes you see some people will come in and say, because he didn't produce it. But yeah, I'll say it real quick. Daz, and I want to go and watch the rest of these interviews too. Daz on DJ Vlad now, because now Vlad has just started interviewing Daz, especially because Daz has been online talking all this trash. Daz went out and said that he really did all the beats on the Chronic. And not only did he not even get paid or get credit for it, but he's also saying that he didn't even get paid for it. Not to mention that Daz also did all the beats on Doggy Style, or mostly all the beats on Doggy Style, or Snoop Dogg's first album, which Dre took a lot of credit for too as well. Shout out Prince D. Allen for the follow. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, fam. Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys, man. So I'll probably go for like a few more minutes on here. Shit. We've been going for almost 3.5 hours, man. But I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you guys a lot, man. We definitely building the community with this one. And make sure you guys jump in on here when I jump on the next ones too, man. Like I said, I usually go on here about 9 p.m. Eastern. For those of you that are in Texas, I think you're about 2 hours behind New York Eastern time. So it'll be about 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. for y'all. 8 p.m. What's the beat Too Cool for School that you talking about? We didn't see it. beatGrade sounds familiar. Batman says, do you have a YouTube channel? Yep, I do. It's beatGrade all around. You can find me all over social media at beatGrade. beatGrade at TikTok. I try to keep it simple so people can find me. beatGrade TikTok, beatGrade YouTube, beatGrade Twitter, beatGrade all around. I'm not really on Instagram though. I told you I was on Instagram for some of you, but I was on there, but they deleted the profile. I think I was doing too many controversial topics. This was way back in the day, so I never really started a new Instagram. I do have an Instagram, but I'm not really on there as much because I don't really feel like Instagram contributes to real hip hop anymore. I think it's more like a weird thing. Instagram is like a OnlyFans page now, or a profile or app now. It's like a dating app. Instagram's like a dating app now. So I don't really mess with Instagram anymore. Like the only purpose I see of Instagram is like to look at women now. You know what I mean? Like it don't even push my algorithm to hear producers. Like I hear way more producers and way more rappers on TikTok or YouTube than any other platform. Not even on Twitter anymore. It used to be like that on Twitter, but now Twitter seems like it's starting to turn into like just like a political thing. It's just like all they talk about is politics on Twitter now. Even if I don't even follow that stuff, because I know some people say, oh, well, it depends upon your algorithm or what you click on. Nah, it's not really true, because I got burner accounts on Twitter too, and they still show the same stuff on my burner accounts that they do on my beatGrade account. So yeah, YouTube and TikTok are really the two platforms that I take the most seriously. Oh yeah, and Facebook too. beatGrade on Facebook, but you know, that's kind of a different crowd. Thank you again, Prince D. Allen. You were there. Got to check out your YouTube channel. Yeah, man, please do. There's a lot of history on there too, man. But doing the YouTube for a minute, like I said, man. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. What was the beat? Okay, word. Bat Manny. That's a funny name. Bat Manny says you already subscribed to the YouTube channel. Yeah, man. Thank you. As you see, we're streaming on YouTube as well. High Tech had the best beat on the game's first. Man, High Tech is an underrated producer, and we did a beat series on him too. I might have to put that back up, because we have that for our members, the people that follow the membership, but I'm gonna have to put that back up. Oh, his IG got deleted when he, yeah, man, Instagram be deleting people, man. Like they be deleting a lot of accounts, man. That's why, well, I don't know if you were joking about that, but for me and some of my other friends, we got deleted off of Instagram. Like I have a lot of friends that got deleted off of Instagram too. Instagram was like doing some weird stuff back in the days. They were just deleting a lot of profiles, man. Yeah, Batman, he says you blocked the baddies on IG and now your feed is better. That's good. Yeah, man. Sometimes that shit just gets distracting, yo. Like it's cool. It's like, okay, yeah. You know, there's a lot of hot chicks on there. But sometimes it's like it just gets distracting. It's like, look, I'm not trying to look at these girls twerking all the time. Because then, and you know, speaking of Black Thought has that song called Pussy Galore. That's one of my favorite songs on the Roots album. I forgot which album that was. Pharaohology, I think, or one of them albums. Or something like that. It's like one of those albums with a weird name. But he's like, yeah, Pussy Galore. He said nations, corporations going to war for Pussy Galore. He said people do everything for like he's just talking about like how pussy just like really runs the economy. Like everything really has to do with women. Like it's like if we break down a lot of stuff and we peel back the layers, it's like a lot of it comes down to women. And that's basically what the whole song is about. But I like where he's like, yo, sometimes y'all taking me to a place I ain't trying to be. Like, yeah, man, that's how I feel when I go on Instagram. It's like, y'all are taking me to a place I'm not trying to be. Yo, like, I'm trying to come up on here to get some information. And y'all just throwing all this BS at me, man. And sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's just a lot of stupid shit. But, like, also, Twitter or Instagram really just reposts what's on Twitter. Like, usually, like, what everybody's putting on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook are just reposting that on their platforms of what was already trending on Twitter. So it's just kind of like, that's why I just prefer to just be on Twitter, I guess, in a way. But like I said, that's starting to get a little political too. It's called Fred Again, Victory Lap, Skepta, Playboy Max, or Plaqueboy Max. Yeah, those are all the streamers, right? Or yeah, I forgot he did an album too. I have to check it out. If a chick tell you she a IG model, she a scammer. Yeah, true. And think about this too, man. Any girl you know, go ask a girl what her Instagram account is. Like pretty much every girl you know is on Instagram. It's almost like they may not be on TikTok. They probably have a Facebook because Facebook just been around forever now. But but what they're active on, like they may have a Snapchat. That could also be a scammer. Because now it's like, oh, if they got a Snapchat, it's like, what the hell's really going on? And I remember back in the days, like Snapchat used to be kind of hip hop ish. Like Snapchat was like really about the hip hop at one point, but then Snapchat just fell off. Yeah, Too Cool for School, Black Dot from Philly, right? Yeah, The Roots. Yep, The Roots crew from Philadelphia. Man, I think their second album, the first album is a classic too, but I think their second album, I think it's called Illadelph, classic, man. Like every beat on there is a classic. I think I suggest y'all should go back there and listen to that song if you haven't heard it. Yeah. Yeah, man. Classics, man. Yeah, man. Roots or De La. Oh, man. They're both dope. They're both dope. I don't know if I could really pick one between those two, man. Dang, y'all were asking some good questions, man. When y'all asked MF Doom or Black Dot, now you saying Roots or De La Soul, man. They're both classics, man. They're both like I can listen to both of their albums, like, and the good thing about Roots and De La is that they have multiple albums that I like. It's not just like, oh, it's only that one album. Like they both got like at least like 2 or 3 albums that I like where I can listen to from beginning to end. Like it's not like it's just one album for me. It's like they got multiple albums. Too Cool for School says, hey man, it was nice talking to you. I gotta go hear this beat. I keep trying to get you to play. Hey man, I appreciate y'all. Hey, well, I'm gonna tell y'all real quick, man. I'm gonna be back on tomorrow again, 9 p.m. Eastern, maybe 9:30ish Eastern. So yeah, you guys try to get on. Thank you for the coins, the follows. I appreciate y'all. We've actually went on longer than expected, man. I was on here for about 3.5 hours. So shout out to all y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming through, speaking about the real hip hop. And that's what helps get the conversation going and getting people on here. So yeah, shout out to Cool for School. Shout out Concrete Quarters. I hope to see y'all on the next one. Prince D. Allen. If I'm missing anybody, I apologize. I'm trying to go through the comments. Batmanny. There was a few others of you that jumped in here, like a TK or something. TK Kirkland. No, I'm just kidding. But one of y'all. Thank you guys. Yeah, man. Try to jump on the next one, man, because when you guys jump on the next one, we get it going and we get the likes going and we'll just push the algorithm out here because, yeah, man, that's my goal for the rest of this year, man, taking over. I'm gonna be taking over the hip-hop. Yeah, man, thank you. Because I feel like this is what's needed too, man. A lot of these podcasters out here, they ain't talking about real hip-hop. So, yeah, man, we're going to try to jump up on here a little bit earlier. I'm going to get up out of here too. But thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Concrete Quarter says you're going to be tired as hell for work, but dope convo, bro. Thank you. Likewise, man. I appreciate y'all. Well, hopefully you guys jump on the next one, man. I'll be up on tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Be safe and enjoy work. And we'll definitely be on for that Jay-Z stream. So I'm going to holler at y'all. All right, y'all. Peace.